Yeah,
Stop using what?
I'm done bitching about my painfully easy job that
Uh-huh.
people seem to constantly be making harder for no reason.
That's what it's like in retail. We know how that is.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, hi Cake.
Kiki!
Hi.
Uh-oh. Sad cake?
Hi.
Hi.
No. I do gotta be leaving early tonight. But I am here.
Okay.
As the once wise All Might said, I'm here.
I was saying, what did he say?
Um,
Tell us.
I kind of wrote a
like-
recap.
Hey.
Hey.
Okay, let's jump into it. The party has sailed away from Altair, which had been enveloped in a strange translucent field. Oh, hold on, is my mic good? Oh, check, good. In a strange translucent field, which the elves called the Mythal, rendering it either invisible or something else. The party debates which way to approach Provost, a longer path with less patrols, or a more direct route through the Bay of Mist, which has been known to be patrolled by dwarven longboats. Adney urges the party to make haste to Hannon for the Queen's sake, to which the party agrees. Saloon introduces the party to her new familiar, an Almirage named Rex, as Safeguard and Ren release the souls from the accursed coins that they found beneath Darrigan Coven. Along the way, they are waylaid by a dwarven ship. However, due to some clever pre-planning, Brilwyn is able to fly the colors of the opposing faction of dwarves as the party members engage in a deft deception. Ren and Adney have a private conversation about her fears about returning home as the ship passes the ancient elven tower of Aelsarin, which had been freed by the party months prior. And it appears off the coast to be ringed in a red mist with what looks like ash floating upwards. Arriving at Provost, the party finds the docks largely deserted as Rhaegrim trains a young deckhand to tie the ship off to the dock. This rope tying is described in excruciating detail. The ship is approached by 3 soldiers, Captain Tarandream, Flintbreaker, and Doug Johnson, who immediately recognize Safeguard and directs the party to the Temple of Valkyr, to which the group makes their way without delay. On the way, Adney expresses her nerves about seeing her mother again, to which Ren counsels that maybe no words need be said. They'll have an understanding. Saloon thinks about her own experience and advises that if she had a chance to see her mother again, she would run up and give her a big hug, which she advises Adney to do. Entering, they find Queen Elswith finishing a prayer as the congregation files out of the Temple of Valkyr, and she is reunited with her daughter at last. The Queen announces that the time for grief is at an end, and now it is time to heal the country and stand against what she calls the fraudulent demon presenting as Tyr. Safeguard meets with a familiar face, Elise Renaud, who has been promoted to acting captain of the guard, and together they discuss the tactical situation, calling attention to several high-priority missions. The Queen lets Ren and the others know that there will be a clandestine meeting of the Order of the Black Veil that evening at midnight, where more specific matters can be discussed freely. And that is where we begin.
All right. So I think we were. I don't know if we'd left the temple yet, but I think we're about to.
Sure, if you want the temple map, I'll bring it up. Otherwise, we can say that you've headed out.
Very interesting to see Elise in such a formal role. I think she has it in her, but is like the whole group here, or are we missing a few people?
Versailles went with Elise. Not Elise,
Okay.
Alis. I'll get the names right eventually.
That's right.
Gotcha. So you would be at her house then,
Mm-hmm.
'cause she
I
split
think
off.
I
Okay.
also went there. I don't
Okay.
remember what I did though. Cannot confirm or deny.
Well, I think we should all probably head in that direction anyways, because I believe it is dark by this point. We should probably get our living situation taken care of and then focus on this meeting, because that's in like a couple hours, right?
Yeah, so it's about maybe 7 o'clock, so you've got about 5 hours or so.
Okay. What are you gonna say, Cobra?
Oh, I was gonna say what Ella said.
Okay.
And there was a question brought up midweek. Cobra, the note that the Queen passed you, she would have made it clear that that because she trusts, because there's been trust in the services that you've all rendered, that the party would be welcome as a whole to that meeting if they chose.
Yes.
Shall we go and check on the Renaults and get our accommodations taken care of?
Well, not to split the party.
For once, let's not do that.
We're in a safe place.
Yeah, but still. Well, Tavian is going in that direction to get that taken care of. Anybody else?
Saloon, yeah, Saloon will follow with Octavian.
Okay. Shut up, phone. I don't need your shit right now. Although that is an Indeed notification. We'll be looking at that later.
I swore I had a map of. Hold on.
I thought you did too.
I remember what it looked like.
Is Ren gonna come with Octavian? B.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we'll just assume that everybody's headed that direction unless they speak up.
Okay.
This Ryan can
Well,
do his errands in the morning.
Okay. Well, Ellis looks through all of his maps. Maybe you archived it?
Possible. Let me look here because it's not in Roll20, but that makes sense because I had to delete a ton of stuff.
Where exactly are we? The docks, right?
You are at number 8 currently, so that is the
Yeah.
that is the Temple of Valor.
We would be heading here, I believe.
I was just trying to make sure I can like zoom in and stuff with my Chromebook.
This map's not as big, so I'm not having the issues like I was at the other city.
The Winged Terror right there.
Yeah. Yeah, we're using that as like the group con.
Give me 2 seconds. Well, we don't really need it. So as you are making your way through the city, making your way into the familiar market district, past some familiar sights, you pass the coin exchange, and then the familiar sight of the Depth's Rest Tavern. Making your way through the stalls, you would notice a large number of them, formerly bustling, have been boarded up, and some of them have been abandoned. Some of the buildings have been partially disassembled for wood and stone, things like that, to build up some of the defenses of the city. So certainly there's been a heavy toll has been extracted from the once vibrant and bustling market district. As you make your way to the southwestern corner, you would see a familiar sight. Can everybody hear me okay?
Yeah, I had to turn you up a bit.
Okay, let me check my because I'm getting. Hold on, let me do what Leg said and open up Logitech G Hub. See if that.
Yeah, big as you, the Blue Yeti, right? Yep.
Yes.
I'd say just because on my end, I get like 3 words and then it goes into like static. But everyone else I can hear fine.
Yeah, I could get it a little closer. How's this? Is it a little better?
Wonderful.
Like that?
It seems okay for the moment.
Okay, I don't know what. I'm sorry you're having that issue.
Have you turned him up a bit, volume-wise?
Yeah, it's all turned up.
Okay.
It's just it kept sounding like he was breaking in and out.
Yeah, so the missing ingredient, the Renaud's alchemy shop, is certainly a familiar sight for sore eyes, shining like a new coin in the city. The once tiny shop you'd noticed that you remembered from before is actually now, it's been expanded to 3 connected buildings, and they all seem to be coated in a fresh chestnut varnish. The primary shop was in the central building where you remember that some of you had stayed before, where the Renaud's worked and lived, and it appears, as you approach, stocked full of the same vibrant potions and supplies. And if you were to enter, you'd notice that it was just as tidy as before, although the old kitchen now appears to be a preparation area. The left building, the main home for the Renaud's, is a 3-story building with plenty of room for the family. And the right building has signage which seems to indicate that it is being used as an infirmary. You notice a few people milling about who appear to be tending to the badly wounded or the ill.
Do we see Alice or her father around?
Yes, as you enter, you would indeed see Alice, as well as her father Gerard, and they would be. You would see Gerard. Actually, he's standing by the counter of the shop. Appears to be closing up for the night. He was somewhat stooped over, as he leans heavily on a crutch. Actually, he looks a bit tired, a bit more aged from the last time you all saw him. His graying dark hair, it's smoothly brushed back from his forehead. And he's wearing his spectacles. He's dressed in like a leather apron, which is over linen breeches, shirt, satchels on his belt. And you would notice, actually, a woman that you don't recognize, slightly younger than him. She's sitting on a nearby stool. She's writing some items down in a ledger, and she has gray hair that's tied back in like a loose bun, and she's wearing a russet shirt with a cream-colored skirt. And you would see Alice actually is also in the shop, eagerly showing Versailles around. You would see that Versailles has made herself quite comfortable, and Alice is gesturing to the stairs where the guest quarters were. And as you step into the shop, you would feel almost an inner warmth, as if remembering that this is a safe and homely location.
Gerard, good to see you are in good health.
Is that you, Octavian?
Yes, yes, it is I, and I've returned with some familiar faces, a few new ones. But Alice assured us that we would be able to find accommodation here, at least for the brief time that we will stay, unless we are imposing too much.
He has his crutch, and and as he sees you, you notice he was leaning on it very heavily, but he gets sort of like a little bit of like a pep in his step, and he sort of gets over to you very quickly with like 2 strides. He covers the distance, and he puts his free hand on your shoulder, and he says, "My friends, you are most welcome."
Did he have the crutch before?
He did not.
The crutch is new.
He's more than his disability.
Yes, you'd say the events of late have extracted a heavy toll for many of us, but if it means the freedom once again of Hannon from this madness, this tyranny, well, it's a price many of us are willing to pay.
On that we can agree. I'll look over to the other woman. She is new. Might we be introduced?
Oh, where are my manners? Of course, of course. I'm having a little trouble with my internet here. I'm sorry.
Uh-oh.
He would say, "Oh, forgive me. This is my fiancée, Estelle." And she would she's writing in the ledger, and she puts the quill down, and she would stand, and she has a big smile, and you notice that she's about 50, and she has this silver gray hair, fair skin, and she has she's about 5'4", and she's wearing a simple linen dress with an apron, and she walks over, and she takes your hand, Octavian, in her two hands, and she says, I've heard how you all rescued dear Gerard from that terrible tower to the north.
Yes, an interesting adventure that one was. Good we were able to prevent him from making a mistake. Try and correct another mistake.
No, he is a bit cagey about the details, but I've extracted what I can about his old.
It is. I can only tell you what we encountered under there. Parts involving your husband to be, I believe, are at his disclosure.
And Gerard sort of straightens up to his full height, placing the crutch against the wall, and he says, "Well, I don't see the sense in dwelling on the past when we have more than enough excitement in the present."
On that we can agree. We're going to have to. There's a lot of work to be put in. But we will not trouble you much. We will get ourselves situated and perhaps retire for the evening unless we have things that need to be done this evening.
Gerard would say, please, I insist. We already have a hot meal cooking. I insist you make yourselves at home. If there's anything at all you need, we'll have some rooms made up, or if you need to rest, anything at all you need."
Once again, thank you for your hospitality. It is most generous.
There is one thing that I wanted to ask. He looks at the party, and who all has entered the building with Octavian? Is anyone?
I think it was Ren, me, B, Octavian. I think that's it. Is
Yeah.
Adney with us?
She's not.
she's-
No. Yeah.
She
She's
stayed with her
I
mom,
went
right?
there on my own, but I'd probably be there about the same time as you guys.
Okay. Do you want to make a grand entrance, or just kind of slip in?
I won't make a grand entrance. Just pretend I'm there.
I mean, although I
Safeguard
don't.
sneaks up behind the party.
Yeah, I don't think Safeguard cannot make a grand entrance, but that's
True. They are very loud.
Yes.
Varn,
Remember,
maybe
says already there.
Yes.
Varn, maybe do. I think Vorm's having mic issues.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if we heard him before. Maybe disconnect, reconnect. Maybe I don't know. That worked
I
for me
had to
earlier.
switch from my phone to the desk or to my laptop just to get everything clear.
Yeah. He would say, "I see you have quite a," and he sort of looks. He says, "You've made some interesting friends on your path back to our fair city."
We've had quite the interesting journey. Perhaps over dinner we will tell you about it.
I could use a bit of diversion. A rousing tale of your exploits would be most welcome.
I'll tell you one thing. It does involve fighting a dragon.
Yeah, that's a very funny one.
I just kind of stare blankly.
Where do we fight a dragon?
The Jabberwock. It's technically a dragon.
It's true.
The flying magnet or whatever it's called.
Does it look anything like a dragon?
It's
Yeah.
pretty dragon-like.
Yeah.
It's yeah. I mean,
I'll have to look it up again.
He'd say, "Oh, I did hear. I remember your exploits in Arvis. There was something of a bit of a disturbance with the dragon."
oops. And Artemis.
Yeah, do you remember?
The fairy dragon. No, this is a dragon of a more proper size.
Ah. I'd like to hear this at once, but well, and he sort of leans against the wall a bit, and his fiance says, "Dear, please go sit. I know what you want to ask." He says, "Yes, perhaps I will rest just for a moment." He goes over
Let's
to
not
the
spoil anything.
Yes, he goes over to the dining table and he sits down, sort of slumps into the chair, sort of heavily, and Estelle would look at you and say, "He was going to ask if." And I'm sorry that if it's an imposition, but if any of you have any skill with medicine or healing, there's quite a few citizens convalescing in our building next door. So any help is appreciated.
Red, I say Ren's not
Vorm.
proficient in medicine, but he has +5 wisdom, so he can probably take orders well.
Sure.
So he would help.
I
I
don't
have
know
a-
magic.
Vorm, are you good?
I don't know. Am I
Yeah,
audible?
I
I
can
can hear you.
Loud and clear.
Okay, good. Then
Yay.
yes, I am.
Hooray!
I'm still kind of dying, but or at
Mm.
least
We're good.
coughing shit up. But yeah, I'm alive.
Good. That's always good.
Depends on perspective, but yeah, for the most part, it is usually a good thing.
You were saying, Cake?
I also have a I have a +8 to my medicine,
Oh, yeah.
natural healer. I also have my special bread.
Yes.
So that could help people. Be like, hey, you guys want some bread? Pretty tasty. Make you feel better.
And B, with your passive perception, you would notice, as you're looking in, that the Renaud's house is outfitted with an impressive kitchen.
That's very exciting to hear.
I'm sure that B would certainly notice that.
Well, I don't even need a passive perception. I just tell.
Excellent. And yes, she would. Anyone who spoke up, she would say, certainly your help after you've rested is most welcome if you're up to it. She would just bow.
Varn is out back boiling bandages and shit like that
Excellent.
for them.
Excellent. I think Gerard would probably Estelle would probably mention that, and certainly say, Varn is here, boiling some bandages up back as well. Very, very helpful. Very helpful.
Yes. Well, if there's anyone who is in need of magical healing, I think between myself, Safeguard, and B, we'll be able to provide what we can. I am skilled in some level of combat triage. I might be able to help set bones and things like that
Mhm.
if anyone is of dire need.
Excellent. And while this is happening, did you say, Elena, that Alis was leading Versailles upstairs? Would you have heard any of this, or would you be upstairs with Alis?
She would have heard some of it, but Ayla's probably tugged her upstairs to show her the guest rooms.
Excellent. Yeah, so Alis indeed would. A well-appointed guest room. I'm picturing sort of like a larger space that they would have, maybe with 4 beds. Does that sound right?
That was about what it was last time, but since they moved, there should be 3 separate rooms up there now, each with about 2 beds.
As you climb the stairs, Alis will explain that there's actually 3 rooms. Each are outfitted with 2 beds. She would direct you to the one at the end of the hall.
Well, thank you. How much will it cost us to stay here?
Alis giggles and she says, please, there's, you're our guests.
All right. Well, I guess we should tell the others then that they have quarters waiting for them.
That would be wonderful. And Versailles. Now that we're this is Ayla. Versailles. Now that we're back in um, Provost, I just wanted to warn you if you do meet my sister Elise. Um, she can be a bit abrasive at times, but I assure you she means well.
Are you foretelling something?
She laughs. She says, I certainly hope not. Hopefully, she will not cause any unnecessary drama.
Is she aggressive with all women or everyone?
I would, what I've heard, women or anyone, regardless. She has been known to sometimes be a bit short, a bit curt, perhaps. And I will just warn everyone not to take it personally. I'll see if I can guide her to soften her approach a bit.
Rosa will shake her head. You've heard rumors of her being short, yet you grew up with her.
I mean to say that it's getting worse because of the current situation.
Or age.
Yes, exactly.
Well, we'll have to wait and see, won't we?
Yes.
Wherever hand is dealt and whatever dice is rolled.
Speaking of which, I believe Father does have a new set of dice. We could after dinner, if we have time, we could amuse ourselves with some games.
We'll have to wait and see what the others think.
And yes, with that, she would direct you to the room and make sure that you had everything you needed and freely explored the new Renaud compound.
Compound, I like it.
That sounds nice.
Yeah.
It'll lock you downstairs.
I know.
Yeah, they've upgraded from a townhouse to duplex.
Yes.
Triplex.
Triplex, yeah. Triplex.
Remember, it's 3 buildings.
Oh, right.
That's right.
Okay, so Versailles is just gonna stow away her gear and change into more comfortable clothing.
Excellent. Meanwhile, downstairs, as the there's a meal being prepared. Gerard would be sitting at the table. Alis would come back downstairs, and she would help with the cooking and just kind of be filling in Estelle a bit. You would hear her talking a little bit about who some of you are and kind of explaining a little bit of what you'd been through. You might hear her mentioning something about the coven where you met as well. A little bit about Lady Fawe. She's just telling a little bit of. She's giving a slightly what's the best word? Sanitized version of the story for her future stepmother.
Let's see. Ren hasn't informed everybody about the meeting, right?
I thought it was kind of said aloud to the.
Oh, okay. Okay, never mind.
I mean, Ren may have the details, but I think the invitation was said aloud, if I'm correct.
Okay, gotcha. So, Ren, there's a meeting tonight. Do you know what we can expect? If you're privy to details.
Not really. Safeguard would probably be Safeguard and Elise would be the ones to ask. I just know that it involves the Black Veil and the clandestine or something.
Did she at least tell you where it was?
That's what was on the paper, right, Alice?
Yes. You would have. Leg, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Does that sound right? I'm trying to remember. That's one small gap. Would she? Do you feel like she would have put it on the paper, or would she have just told you separately?
I mean, she probably would have put it on the paper. That's
Okay,
up to
great.
you.
Great. Yeah, of course. Yeah. Yeah, she would have indicated that there is an abandoned farmhouse, which is just outside the city walls between Shattered Square and Mongerton. So I don't know if you're looking at the map, but in this general area over here.
Okay. This little
Okay.
walk.
Not too far. I'd say it's 20-minute walk maybe.
Well, at least it's not a dull basement by the sounds of it.
You would hear a little bit of like a gasp from Estelle as she says, "A ghost?" And Ayla says, Shh, "Yes, yes, yes. It was. She was very nice."
Oh, just like, wait, what? Oh. Yeah. Ghost.
Saloon will look to Octavia and be like, do I still have to be on my best behavior, or like, can I talk now?
Oh, of course, yes. We were among pleasant company.
Okay. So what's a fiance?
Someone who is promised to wed another, but they have not gone through the ceremony.
What's a wed?
Oh, gods. It is a formal bonding of two people who deeply care for one another.
Oh, so you and Ren?
Wow.
That was
I don't
awesome.
think we care for each other in that way.
Wow.
More,
What do you reckon has given her the idea that they care about each other at all?
we rely on each other for protection and keeping each other humble. But I do not consider myself.
That's what a wife does to her husband.
Just listen. Can I pull Saloon aside for a sec?
Sure.
Okay.
So how about that cricket ball match, huh?
And no, you cannot go to the Bone Zone.
no, it's fine. I don't care.
Although,
So,
well, I wonder if Gerard's taking Estelle to the Bone Zone. Okay, let's just.
oh
Stop.
my God! Shut up.
Not at the moment. Give him 5 minutes. He had to take a potion.
Yeah, for when the moment's right.
Oh my.
Is that a character? I'm sorry.
It's
This
fine.
is gonna be
It's
so
fine.
fun.
You've derailed the entire session. Good job.
Part,
No.
of course.
No.
Somebody's got to do it at least once.
Yep.
Listen, we've been on a bit of a time crunch for a long time, and now that we are here and we can breathe for a moment, I need to ask you something serious.
Okay.
Your initial goal, as far as I understand, was to get out of Serene and to get here to Hannon, am I correct?
Yeah.
Now that you are here, what do you plan to do?
Stay with you guys, because you said I could stay with you if I won.
Fair. But on that note, you understand what is ahead of us right now, correct?
Yeah. I think Fran called it a war.
Yes, a war. Something that I am far too familiar with. War is not a pretty thing. It is not a. It is not a thing that is. Well, isn't pleasant. Sure, you can handle yourself in an arena with a bunch of performers who are here to put on a show and earn a few stage work scars. This is combat. This is life and death. So that's something that you are prepared for.
I mean, I think I was supposed to be prepared for it whenever you guys first took me.
Well, if I'm being entirely honest, we dragged you along because you were a witness to a crime in a place where we are very much considered enemies of the state, at least to those privy to such information.
And I didn't say anything.
And I thank you for that. Listen, I will take whatever help I can get, but I do not make a habit of bringing children on the battlefield. It is the work of the desperate. Unfortunately, I believe we are certainly very desperate.
You don't want me to go with you?
It's not that I don't want you to. I just want you to understand that what we are going into is, frankly, the only thing I am good at. You're going to see an ugly side of people. Myself, our companions, and people who are going to look at you and are going to want nothing more than to plunge their sword deep into your chest until you stop moving. And if that is something that you think you are willing to face, that you have the skills to avoid such a fate, then I welcome you aboard. And my shield will be yours.
Will you all still come back? If I have to stay here instead of go.
Well, either way, we'll have to come back here to continue our journey, at least some of us. I certainly will. But somebody who is skilled with magic, I think, would be of a benefit on our side. But just understand that you are likely young enough to be a granddaughter of mine, were my life to have taken a different path. And I don't want what is coming to us to, well, ruin your prospects. I've lost many friends on the battlefield, and it has been a long time since I have said my goodbyes. This is dangerous, and I want you to think very hard about what it is that we are going to do. Should you choose to tag along? As with everyone else in this party, I will do everything in my power to ensure that we all make it out of this alive, and that we are victorious in our efforts.
Julian stays quiet. She just nods her head.
If you need some time to think, we are in safe enough and pleasant company. But
How
that
soon
is,
are you guys gonna go?
well, we have a meeting tonight. You're free to tag along on that and perhaps see what sort of things are going to be ahead of us in the immediate future. But depending on the tasks at hand, we might be leaving in the next day or two. And it all depends on the tasks. There are some things within the city that I think need taking care of first before we venture beyond the walls. So,
Why are we fighting?
for people in Hannonhold that are of a certain point of view that is at odds with the rest of the world, the rest of this place. They think they are guided by divine hands. I think that, but in my opinion, they are being misused by people with greater ambitions. And we need to restore order to this place. Because otherwise the people who want nothing more than to live their lives are going to suffer at this conflict.
Only just stays silent.
Think of it this way. They are bad people doing very bad things. And in order to stop them from doing those bad things, we will likely have to do bad things ourselves. But we are doing it so that it stops. And any who wish to stop and pay back the pain and suffering they have caused by joining our side, they will be given that opportunity. As I said, take the time that you need.
But where would I stay if I didn't go with you guys? Where would I go? I have nowhere else to go.
You could stay here with Gerard and Elise. Elise is not a combatant, and Gerard's glory days are long past him. You can stay here and learn medicine, treat the sick and the injured. You could still help, even if you are not fighting with us.
It was fun in the arena when I fought with you guys. It was scary, like, near the end, but
If that is a fear that you think you can face again, and you stare back at it and look it in the eyes and say no, then I think you will do fine. Especially with the rest of us to stand in the way of anyone who would do you harm. Think of it this way. If they want to get to you, they have to get through me, and Safeguard, and Ren, and Varn, and me, and in whatever large animal form she takes. And Versailles as well. We're all in this together. I was kind of... Okay.
Oh, were you gonna say something?
I was just gonna... unless you had something to say, I was gonna try and end the convo, since you were
Oh,
still thinking.
okay. I'm trying to, like, stay in character.
You're good.
Okay. Balloon will, like, just look to Octavian, and then, like,
It's probably knelt.
My
and
chest
kneeled
hurts in
down.
real life right now. Like, oof.
Yeah. Probably kneeled down because you're really short. So, because Octavian's like 6'2" or something.
Yeah, and someone's like 4'11".
Yeah.
She'll walk up to Octavian and she'll give him a hug and like she'll be a little shaky and she'll be like, I just met you guys and I don't want to lose you guys too.
The hug throwing him off guard, kind of for a second. Just takes one hand, pats your back. Then follow us, and you will learn skills one way or another.
I thought that's what the training was for. I thought I could go with you guys.
There will be more training. I have done prior to meeting the rest of the people in this group. Been doing a lot of thinking about my past and things that I care about. And I guess when you got involved in all of this, I don't know, the threat of certain things I think became a bit more real.
She pulls away. She's like, "How so?"
In Vanador, young men join the Legion to seek glory in battle. Those ones typically don't last very long. They don't like to take orders. They don't like to stay in line and weather the enemy charge like they are supposed to. They want to fight.
I listen.
Okay, I'm back. Everything stopped for a second.
Elaine was just like, "But I listen."
There are many mothers and fathers and siblings that lost family, lost standing next to me on the front lines, standing ahead of me once I was in a position of command. Facing those people, those moments of grief is never easy. But you say you have no family.
Not anymore.
Then it would be a shame if there was nobody around to remember you. So, either way, if you want to stay, that is fine. Training will continue. We will prepare you as best as we can. And I and the others will do our utmost to make sure we all make it out of this okay. Just put my hand on your shoulder. Let's give it some thought. Sleep on it. A clear head and a second guess will always do you better than a gut reaction.
Okay.
Come. Let's get some food. Seafarers' rations are not exactly filling.
Okay.
I will shuffle. We'll shuffle back in and have some din.
Some din din time. Woo. Sorry.
Well, I am certain that that is on the list of things to take care of. But we appreciate whatever you can put together. We've been on the road and at sea for some time, and if you've basically lived on rations your entire life, nothing beats a nice warm meal.
What are the floors made out of on the second floor? Or on the second floor? Probably wood?
Hardwood.
Hardwood? All
Yep.
right.
No breaking stuff.
No. This is one of those. This is one of those Tom Cruise in socks and underwear moments that I'm working on. Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
I'm plotting. Leave me alone.
Okay. So where's everyone else right now? I got since Octavian's in the dining room eating dinner.
I think
Varn's
most-
upstairs.
Yeah.
Okay. Say Versailles will be making her way from the guest rooms above the shop to the main house.
Is Safeguard by the table?
A safeguard is by the table IRL.
Okay. But just kind of standing there, not eating because you don't need to.
I said IRL. I'm making food.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I realized I haven't eaten dinner.
Ah.
I don't know. I wasn't paying attention. TBH.
It's din time. Game 2.
I'm sitting there. I'm doing nothing. There we go. I'm NPC mode.
That works. They are just surveying the room, keeping an eye on everything.
Well. We found ourselves in the Vaderwood, and this is where we met a bee here that was terrorizing her people. They called it the winged madness, right? The winged madness, or was it flying madness? Called it the winged madness. Get close to people, and it would drive people insane, or something. Eventually, we
Yeah, quite similar names.
They could not be more different in appearance, though. Over a very long and arduous tracking, we found its lair, and were ambushed by it and a few other fey creatures that had accompanied it, corrupted by its influence. Its its very presence was, well, it was difficult to be around, but those of us here are of strong will and were able to hold off against its defiling aura. Attacked with claws and tails and beat its wings furiously and fly across the battlefield. Its large bulbous eyes would ignite with flame and fire them at whoever it was looking at. So a very unusual dragon, one that does not typically breathe some form of element.
Gerard's hanging on your every word, and you'd notice that you've certainly captured the attention as well from Alis and Estelle from the next room.
During the pause, Versailles will step in the room, hearing the tail end of the conversation, saying, "The lasers are not. The beams from its eyes are not very pleasant. I got scorched a few times by them."
And Gerard would look to Alis and say, "Certainly you weren't there for that, daughter." And Alis says, "No, of course not, father. I was safe as safe as you can be in Altair, but I was not there."
So we did not encounter your daughter until after leaving the Verwood.
Oh. So she was the one. So she did not fight the dragon, but she did fight the ghost, was it? And you see Ayla, she just pinches the bridge of her nose. She says, "Oh, father."
It was in the house, but not a part of it. But a foul creature could regenerate its wounds. It knocked me down quite handily at one point, and with some quick thinking from who was it that brought me back up? Was it Adney that like healed me or something?
I think well, yeah, she threw out I think one heal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And with some assistance from a party member who's not with us at the moment, I was able to get back up as it attempted to flee. Pinned its tail to the ground and split it in twain.
Oh.
The creature seemed to be down for the count, and that's when we found that it could regenerate. It came back again with fury, and with one mighty swing, I cut the beast's head clean off. A very long neck. The segment that landed to my side probably could go up to probably my shoulders.
Could I see the blade with which you cut this beast's head off? And Estelle would say, "Oh, Gerard, stop. Leave him alone. He's resting. We're not going to be bandying blades about in the dining room." And he says, "Of course you're correct. Sorry, Octavian."
Oh, no, it is no trouble. This one is actually quite portable. I will show him the hilt.
Ooh, as you pull the hilt out, you'd notice that the candlelight in the room flickers momentarily.
Are you sure that's wise, Octavian?
He is a man who can be trusted.
That's not the point.
Something about this blade is troubles you? Was it Versailles?
It's a discussion for later. Not my place to say about it.
Oh, my daughter told me that you are Vanadori as well. Very interesting.
Yes. And the battle was also a group effort.
Yes. Ren was hitting it from afar with his martial arts. Strange energy blasts he is able to channel through his body. Deflator, you remember, was attacking it from afar with her magic.
Yes, my daughter told me that the Lady Deflator exited the forest with you and she disappeared in the night. Very curious.
She has been called to a higher purpose. I believe she assists us, but a great distance.
A greater purpose. Well, you know that there are those in this country who call those of us loyal to the Queen, they call us apostates now. I think we've turned our back on the gods.
I think what goes around comes around, I say. They are the only apostates I see on this country are those who wear the symbol of the vigilant.
Mm-hmm. Is it not funny
Right.
that people could be so sure that they're on the side of good, but be so sorely mistaken?
Sometimes it is merely the perhaps some of them are under duress. They fear for the safety of their family, their friends, and so they put their lot in if only to keep themselves and those they care about safe. Hearts and minds are the key to winning any battle.
Yeah, indeed. Indeed.
Once you can show them the error of their ways, I have a feeling they will see the light.
Mhm.
True truth.
You know, there was an old saying, I'm sure you know it, Octavian, that the emperor once said that I am Vanador, and where I walk is Vanador. Sometimes say that in order to subjugate a rebellion or a people, that it's not always won with force of arms, but sometimes, as you said, hearts and minds, and sometimes if you can kill their, well, you can kill their gods, you can more easily defeat the population. It's a terrible thing to think of, but I believe that I never thought I'd see the day that we'd have to kill our own tier. And Estelle says, "That's enough, Gerard. That's enough politics at the dinner table. I won't have it." And he says, "Oh."
Listen, Gerard. We have seen some fairly fantastical things. And if I can say one thing, if what they say is true and that a god sits upon their throne, I have to ask, why are things not worse for us, air quotes, apostates?
Yes. Well, the Queen is convinced that it is a entity, a demon of some sort, in disguise. I believe that bookish elf, who's always at the abbot's side, is doing some magic, twisting things, twisting reality. I don't know, though. It's all outside of my pay grade, as they used to say.
Whatever lies they are feeding their subjects will be exposed. That I will promise you. But there is much work to be done before we can do that, and I believe that is what this is the business we have for this evening, is to address.
He would pour a drink, sliding it. Randy, you in the room?
Cobra? Uh-oh.
Okay.
MIA.
Yes.
He did.
Well, either way, at this point, you hear a door go smashing open at this point. And you hear something sliding across the floor upstairs. With what is actually like clawing marks going across the floor. As Varn like bolts out of his room and stops and slides into view at the top of the stairs. I found him! And above his head, he is holding his lucky underwear. He looks down and says, "Oops.
How many holes are in the underwear?
3. But he bends over. He bends over and starts picking things up off of the floor. And goes and kind of like ashamedly walks down the stairs and holds his hand out to Gerard. Sorry, Papa Gerard. And he drops the scratched pieces of wood into his hand. I won't do it again. Because he is currently barefoot. His claws were just dragging across the fucking floor. And he goes over. He finds a spot, sits down, puts his underwear in his lap, and says, "What are we talking about anyway?"
Just politics, plans, stories of our juries, usual stuff.
Did we have a plan?
I believe that is what the meeting for tonight is going to be about.
Oh, we got a
Pass any-
meeting.
Yes, Ben and Safeguard have most of the details. Safeguard mostly.
Ah. Well, we should
Believe it.
probably plan that, because a god is going to be kind of hard to go and kill.
A lie is much easier to fight.
Well, I'm pretty sure he's walking around.
If he is, then our job just got a lot harder. No matter.
Like I said, god's going to be kind of hard to kill.
Varn, what are you wearing?
Varn is currently in a pair of breeches and a shirt
Okay.
that's way too big for him.
I'm making sure he wasn't, only holding the underwear.
No. No, these are his lucky underwear that he forgot there.
Yes.
The lucky under.
This is why he lost his money at the very beginning.
There's only 3 holes, and 3's a lucky number for goblins. Because that's the one they can't remember.
What's the one that they can't say?
Wasn't it?
So
3?
there's 2.5 holes. Because we all know it goes 2, 2.5, 4, and then 5. It's just the way that counting works. But yeah.
Estelle would call over and say, "Yes, Varn, we did notice that there's a trunk upstairs with your things. Please, is anything?"
Oh, I didn't look through that. Oh, these were in the corner.
Ah,
And he holds them up.
yes.
Screaming in agony.
Can I smell them from across the table?
Why? Why would you want to smell a goblin's underwear?
No. I'm just saying, just him being in proximity to them, and you smell them from a distance.
I don't know. Can we?
No.
Varn?
No, I don't. I don't think that they're well aired out at this point.
Yeah.
I mean, it's been a while since he's been back.
I'm thinking, old underwear sitting in the corner. It's gotta be a little ripe.
No.
All right.
That's great.
But they weren't washed.
Yeah.
They still
But
have.
Well, they
they're
weren't
lucky,
washed.
You can't wash them.
But it was about years ago.
Yeah.
Did you see
they've
the
been lucky ever since?
Did you see the video where they were like power washing an old rug, and it took like
Yeah.
that's Varn's underwear.
Oh, God.
That's gross.
Bro.
Hey, those are some nice black underwear. These are white.
Yeah.
They were white when I bought them.
Yeah.
Like this SpongeBob episode. Patrick has the yellow underwear.
Oh no.
Oh.
He's like, "These are white when I bought-"
Jesus. Well,
Oh, glad I caught that one.
What?
Sorry, I was hacking up my lungs.
Varn, lucky underwear in hand. I am expecting your shots to be extra on point.
Well, we gonna quit on everything tonight. Goes into D20 or into D&D Beyond and it activates always crit.
Alright.
So I will pass around some of the soup, whatever it was.
Varn will definitely be eating breadsticks if there's any.
There
Bread.
is there's loaves of fresh bread.
Yes.
It's never ending, you know. It's like Olive Garden.
Yeah,
Damn right.
yeah. It's got the. It's.
It's the only way for bread to be.
I couldn't think of it. That was what I was trying to say before. It's got that crunch like in Ratatouille when you squeeze it.
Yes.
It's just got the.
I'm of a mind to go and take someone to freaking Olive Garden and just eat bread while I'm there. Let them order whatever they want, but I'll just sit there and eat the bread. I mean,
Well, here's what you do. You go with them. They order technically your meal. Like you order something, but they eat your meal, so you can just have the breadsticks.
yeah. Yeah, that's definitely the way it's gonna be. You know, what are you gonna have? I'll have wine. Thanks. That's it.
I'll have the soup.
I'm good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's my game plan. That or I'll order like something. I'll go on my own and order something and then just take it home with me.
I'm really sorry about this in advance.
The celiac in me is fucking screaming at you right now.
I'll eat
Sorry,
legs.
leg.
I'll eat legs.
The old man goes into the brothel, and the lady says, "Would you like soup or sex?" And he goes, "I'll take the soup." Okay.
Choice.
Yeah.
So I was gonna. No.
Yeah, go ahead.
Celine looks up from her plate and like she still has like no bites taken from her food. Then she'll like speak up. She'll be like, "No, we already talked about it, but I was once in a scary forest with monsters too. I think it was asked if it was the Varrowood, but I'm not sure."
Gerard would kind of give Octavian and the others sort of a look. Look back to Saloon.
We did not encounter her there.
No, this
Always
this
Harry
was
would.
a long time ago.
You were much younger, or did it just feel like a long time?
No, I was younger. My mom was still here.
Oh, you poor child, you lost your mother, and this is Gerard gives you a compassionate glance.
I like there was this big it was kind of like a flower.
A flower?
It was huge.
Did you eat it?
No, got my mom.
With,
Celine starts crying.
with your passive perception, you notice that you've actually caught Aelis's attention, and she's sort of hanging on your words. She's furrowing her brow.
The flower. Not her.
Yeah. The flower took my mom.
Is there anything we can roll to check that?
I
Yeah.
was about to say.
Yeah, maybe.
I would like to check that.
Yes.
I was thinking
As somebody who's
nature on
from
that.
the Varrowood.
Yes, with advantage, please, Cake.
What am I doing? Is this nature?
You know what?
History?
I'm gonna allow nature or survival.
Choose whichever one your higher stat is in.
No, the lower.
Yeah, nature. 23.
Whoa, at 23.
Tell me about this flower. It's the flower from Little Shop of Horrors.
No, you're gonna. Oh my gosh.
Beatrice
William,
Galethal
you're
tree.
gonna feel so bad when you find out what it was.
A Beatrice Galethal tree. You would know of a feared plant in the Varrowood. It's very rare. You would have heard stories of something that might match what Saloon's talking about, and the name that crosses your mind would be corpse flower.
Corpse flower?
Yes.
And here I was thinking, forget-me-nots.
I was thinking the Venus man trap from fucking Warhammer 40k.
Well, if I may intervene, that sounds like a horrible plant that is known as the corpse flower. We don't really see it very often, and it's only just a legend from what I've heard. But I mean, it's the Varrowood. What do you expect?
Do you eat them? Sounds like you
No.
should.
It's kind of the other way around, Farn.
Well, we should kill it then?
I don't think any of us want to go back into the Verrowood barn.
I've never been into
Well-
Valewood.
You don't want to go.
Would
I
you?
spent 10 years there.
I
That's
spent
your
my whole
fault.
life there. It's not that bad.
Home is where the heart
See?
is. Be.
B wants to go there.
I got this paper that'll tell me how to get there. Because I still have my.
Pulls out her map.
Well, I was
No,
going to say
I have a
poorly
little- I got
drawn
a little
map.
No, I have a little spell scroll. With what's the name of the spell? I think it's just called Find Way Home or something.
Hmm.
And
Find the
it
Fat-
basically, yeah, and it's just a way that can take me back to my home in the Fairwood. So I could leave. All right, side quest. We're splitting the party.
and B was never heard from again.
Years later, she was found somehow in a little tiny forest saying it was home.
That forest, 3 trees,
Exactly.
and a bush.
Anywho. Well, Saloon, at least I can give you some comfort in that there will be no, as far as I know, there will be no people eating plants in our immediate future.
The part I didn't say was it got me too, but I got out. My mom, she was coming to help me, and then it did get her.
I'm sorry.
But you mentioned war earlier, and I guess you could say I fought my own battles.
And I think you do have what it takes.
Well, don't you worry. If we ever get out of here and I head back to the to that forest, and you want to come with me and avenge your mom, I'll gladly help you find that plant. It's pretty scary, don't worry, but I ain't afraid of nothing. Except for it was a stone. Thank you, Ellis. Well, except for an increase in rent, but hey, who isn't? Am I right? And then I nudge the person I'm sitting next to, just like
You nudge Gerard, who was mid-sip, and he goes, and he spills cider kind of all over himself.
Oh, sorry about that.
It's quite all right.
Hey, you better not be wasting gas like you're wasting that cider, am I right? And then I nudge him again.
Please stop it.
I like the idea that this is like all actually happening, and everyone's just like, "What the fuck is she talking about? Rent, gas."
No, rent would make sense. Gas wouldn't.
Oh my goodness.
Gerard explains that he's renting out some of the rooms to people, and B's like, landlords contribute nothing to society.
Yeah, they're really just people that kind of take money.
People in the back.
Yeah, that was for you, Leg.
Fun fact, I thought I'd share this. For Halloween, I'm going to dress up as a landlord.
Wow.
Because I think that's funny.
God.
I think that's pretty scary, right?
Wow.
What are you
I'm gonna go to my
look
friend's
like?
house. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. Thinking about getting a balding cap and giving myself the Danny DeVito haircut, a nice big bulging stomach.
Oh yeah.
Completely
Carry
different
around
than
like a
Landlord I used
scar.
to have.
Wow.
Don't forget your suspenders.
Yeah, my suspenders. Just like the most stereotypical, like, scumbag lawyer, or not lawyer, scumbag landlord in the world. Just like, yeah, rent's going up $250 this month.
All I can see is the neighbor from the one
neighbor?
show. No, the one show there with the meatball, the fries, and the
Carl?
cake. Yeah,
Fucking Aqua Teen Hunger Force.
yeah, that's it. That's all I can think of right now. Make sure you grow out the mustache too.
Oh yeah, 100%.
God. You know, landlords contribute nothing to society. I mean, of all the people who would just blurt that out, Druid is definitely one of them.
Good.
Yeah, it's the one that lives in the forest.
Landlord? You can't lord over the land. The
Land
land is
belongs
for
to
everybody.
nobody.
That's true. Yeah, that's true. I mean,
I would
yeah.
know. I'm a circle of the land druid.
He's from like a literal communist commune, technically, right?
Yeah,
I mean, I don't know. It's up to you.
everything
Okay.
is everyone.
Yeah.
Eat the rich.
You can't eat the rich if no one's rich. We don't eat the rich. We just kind of like saw off some of each other's like legs. You know what I mean?
You think
Nothing
the cheese,
bad.
right? It's actually made of cheese.
I don't think just the smell alone is deterring me.
Did somebody say cheese? The cheese ray kicks open the door.
Oh
I
shit!
don't-
Did somebody say cheese?
What is he, Kool-Aid Man?
Fuck out, Dustin. I don't think we get that joke.
I know.
Instead of bursting down the wall saying, "Oh yeah," he says, "Say cheese."
Oh yes.
Holy shit! All right, the second off the rails.
He's got like cans of cheese whiz that he just sprays in people's faces
Ugh.
like confetti, like streamers. But
Like silly string.
yeah, like silly string. Thank you. But it's not silly string. It's just like cheese. It's not even good cheese either. It's like blue cheese, and well, blue cheese is great, but
American cheese.
yeah, it's like American cheese and Kraft singles. He like throws them like ninja stars. Wait, I gotta create a new one-off character that uses cheese as a weapon. Hold on.
Oh no!
I'm sorry,
Most
but
cheese builds of people.
this conversation is starting to grate on me.
Okay. Hey, God, a real monster.
Is it that I have some in my fridge?
I don't know. I always thought it was pretty Gouda.
I'm taking
I knew
IRL
Varn was
psychic
gonna do it.
damage. Ah. So, anyways, D&D.
Yes.
But what time is it? Is it getting close to the meeting time?
What's Tyr's favorite kind of cheese?
Oh no.
Swiss, because it's so holy.
I thought Swiss, but I didn't think because it was holy. I just thought Swiss because it was Swiss.
I'll see myself out. Alright. Yes, so I'd say
About.
yeah, I'd say
Ellis is the dad. He has to make the dad jokes.
I
so
know that.
yeah.
It's like legally required.
It is.
We're all just providing material.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yes, so I would say yes, certainly you would be aware of the time that you certainly after all the unpacking, cleaning up, the cooking, the wonderful meal, conversation. Yeah, it's getting close to meeting time. Probably have about an hour.
All right.
Okay, I'm gonna go get changed then. Then Varden
so
goes and
nice.
puts on his lucky underwear.
On the outside of his outfit.
Well, yeah. Where else do you wear that?
Like
Gotta
Superman.
make sure the luck is front and center. So anyways, say to
Superheroes wear them on the outside. Why can't Varn?
yeah. I'll look to Gerard and his family and just go. Appreciate a lovely meal. Now we have to, well, figure out what our objectives are these next few days. Start making sure everybody's got their stuff, and we are able to go to where the meeting is. Leg, are you available for a little talkie talk?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. Safeguard. What's
I'm suffering, but I can take a break from suffering.
Okay. You good?
Yeah, I'm fine. I'm trying to make a Chinese League of Legends account, and it might take me 5 days.
Okay.
On top of the 2 days it already took me to install it.
Anywho, so Safeguard, you know the details of this meeting.
Oh no, not at all. Yeah, what I'm trying to say is that he knows Octavian knows everything that I know.
Oh, okay. Well,
I withheld no information from you.
very good. You know this city a fair bit better than I do, so guide us to where we need to be.
Yeah.
So, Cobra, have you returned?
Yeah, I've been here.
Oh, okay. Because we were asking for you a little bit ago, but you.
I was probably interested in the kitchen. or
Oh, okay.
bathroom.
Alrighty. Believe it is meeting time, so whoever tagging along, speak now or forever hold your peace.
Varn's coming.
Alrighty.
I'll go.
See,
Or
Versailles
hot.
was just told about
That's
it,
the
so she's
spirit.
gonna go along.
Okay. E? Okay. All right. Well, Ellis, we head to the meeting place with Safeguard's lead.
Ooh. Okay. As you are leaving the Renaults, there would be a little discussion where Gerard is wanting to escort you, and he gets correction. His fiance comes out and is like, no. There's a little bit of an argument, but he relents and he bids you, he bids you a safe journey, and he's just very interested. I don't want to RP it in real time, but he's just very interested in the meeting. He wants to know everything, and he's hoping that you'll come back and tell him. And then as you are walking,
You want us to roll for perception?
yes, someone give me a perception roll.
Anyone want to do it? Perception is shit.
I have to
say.
refresh the page.
I'll do it. If I use it
Stupid
back.
thing. Yeah,
Everyone doing
I
it?
see nothing.
I guess.
I gotta fix my stuff again. It's being weird.
I just gotta wait for my internet to go and frickin' reappear. Fucking thing.
Wow, Versailles. You trip over a loose brick, and we need a dex saving throw.
Give me a second. My settings got all weird.
I'm just being a jerk.
Wait, can I also roll perception? Are we all rolling perception?
Anyone would like to. I mean, it's ow, I just almost ripped like my finger out of the socket. Ow, why did I do that?
Jeez.
Ow.
Just to know.
Change my mind. I don't want to roll bleh.
I think I now remember you trying to talk to me, but I think I was in the kitchen eating ice cream right from the carton because I was trying ghost peppered like Doritos,
Oh,
not Doritos, but like the Packy ghost pepper chips.
yeah,
They're
Mhm.
a little bit hot.
I bet.
Oh, by the way, did you try the lemonade? Did you like actually drink it yet?
Yeah, the mechanism is completely unnecessary, and it was meh.
Okay.
No, I feel so fucking talked down to right now. But also preach.
How's that?
Oh, I mean, I fucking love those things. And I think
Yeah,
that the
same.
stupid mechanism was the best. But at the
Fine
same
with the marble,
time,
right?
yeah. But at the same time, it's so wasteful to make things like that. You know, just like drink everything out of reusable containers.
Um.
Did
Never
my
really
dice
wanted to
roll ever go through?
No,
No.
it didn't.
Did not
No.
see
I
that.
don't think mine did either.
I rolled a 14, but
Okay.
Lord.
14. So yes, you would notice, as you're making your way through the market, the streets are fairly deserted. There are certainly some patrols sort of just walking around, keeping an eye on things. Certainly, they would recognize Safeguard. Are you mounted as you're walking, or what are you doing?
Of course.
Yes, that would attract. It's very you cannot keep a low profile, attracting the attention of anybody walking by.
I can't keep a low profile on foot, so I might as well be like,
Yes.
yeah, like
How
even
tall
on
are you
foot, I would-
mounted? Like 10 feet?
yeah, like 11 or 12.
Yeah, it's no joke. It's like
Yes, I am a presence in the street, but at the same time, I still am even when I'm not mounted.
that's right.
Like, you might as well be as extra as possible.
Great. So yes, certainly cries of the Queen's Spear, Safeguard. There's certainly a few people are pumped to see you.
I'm such a celebrity.
Did you have something, Varn?
no, I'm just
Oh, I thought I cut you off.
grumbling because roll 20 isn't working.
Oh, give it a reload.
Yeah, I had to fix mine because it kept rolling in the screen rather than over on the.
That's a 7.
other
I hate
page.
that so much.
Yeah.
I don't understand the business model of of D&D Beyond selling like virtual dice. I don't know. Like a set is cool, but I don't need like 20 sets. I don't know.
It's in prep
everybody's
for
gotta have-
D&D 1.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's fair.
Everybody needs microtransactions.
Apparently so.
And just double check and make sure dice rolling is off on your character sheet. And then refresh
Yeah,
the
I'm wondering
page.
if that's it.
Sometimes when they do like backend updates, sometimes it turns back on.
Yeah, I think that's what's going
Or
on
if you were
here.
fucking around in Character Creator.
As a quick note, Mr. Cake messaged me. Had to go take care of some personal stuff, but Beatrice will stay behind, and Beatrice is going to be doing some baking with Alis, taking advantage of that large kitchen, helping clean up a little bit, helping do some dishes.
Cool.
Actually works out rather well. As you're making your way, you would notice, strangely, in the center of one of the streets, there is a small child. Appears to be standing. Appears to be looking for. They have sort of like a little hat, and when they're looking for change, and as you come up, they'd say, "Can you spare anything? Can you spare anything? We're so hungry."
Give them 3 gold pieces.
Wow.
Arn gives her a loaf of bread that he's got tucked in his armor.
And I think I have an extra break. No, I gave that to Varn. Never mind.
So you give 3 gold?
Yes. I have 100. It's fine.
And what did you give Varn?
A loaf of bread.
A loaf of bread, excellent. They take the bread and they're looking at the gold pieces, and they sort of look and they go to bite one, and they're like, "That's a real gold."
Please, they go to bite one and their teeth breaks. Let's go.
And this,
It's just for you.
this bread, and there's a coughing. This bread, this will feed me me and me mum for 2 days.
All right, I'm gonna
Thank-
sound like
thank
a
you.
dick. I'm gonna
Thank
sound
you.
like a dick. Can I roll an insight check quick?
Sure.
Ah, I
10.
have to.
Seems like a
I'm
nice,
going to.
just a nice kid down on their luck.
Or
And Versailles with that
going through.
0. Ren, I think you rolled an 18. You would just notice someone appears to be behind Versailles, and now they're walking away from her.
So there was someone that came right up against like within like touching distance of Versailles and is walking away.
Yeah, and now they're walking away, and the kid is talking about the bread, and they're looking at the gold coin, and they're telling you their story.
Say, Versailles, check your coin purse.
It's back at. I put it back with my gear at the house. Didn't think I would need it.
Just make sure nothing.
So-
Just make sure nothing at all is missing.
Unless they ripped off my shirt and she looks down and sees it's still there. I don't think they took anything.
But never mind.
You had nothing on you.
Nope.
Okay, you don't even have your
She
bow
knew
with
the
you?
she didn't think she would actually need it at the moment. It was a meeting.
Okay. Did you bring your bow?
Famous last
Oh.
words.
Okay.
Hearing this, could Saloon also check her stuff?
Certainly.
Because she's like super cautious, like, oh, what?
Yes. It appears as though nothing is missing.
Okay.
Excellent. So the
I
kid
was
would.
like, shit, I was gonna have this be like a side quest.
The kid would. Yes, the kid would. Thank you so much, and you can continue on. Where did I write this down?
Ignore this. I'm just seeing if my rolls will go through. They're not.
Yeah. Are you having trouble with your rolls?
They're not going through.
I would maybe refresh. Refresh both
did.
sides. See.
Okay.
You can just tell us your rolls as well, and we'll believe you. You might have luck as well rolling inside Roll20. If you do /R, 1d20 plus whatever your modifier is, that can work too. Actually, I've been standing up this whole session, and it makes me feel like much more energetic. I like it. Great. So as you make your way, as you are just approaching, what are we using for a team token? Winged Madness, of course. Unless anyone has any objection, as you are nearing the wall at the end of Shattered Square, which you know is sort of like a religious center, you're approaching the wall, you would actually see a couple of goblins waiting at the gate.
I walk up and
Ignore
fist
that.
bump them.
Saloon, are you getting are you getting dice like 3D stuff that's on Roll20, or are you getting that on D&D Beyond?
The 3D dice is on D&D Beyond, but on Roll20 it looks like it could. It's like 2D. Is that what you're talking about or no?
Like, are you getting stuff like roll on the map, basically, or like dice rolling on the map on Provos?
Oh, I did not pay attention to that part. I went through, so
Yeah.
I'm good.
Yeah. Excellent. Cool. Because sometimes the 3D dice on D&D Beyond or on Roll20 will also interfere with Beyond 20.
Excellent. So Varn, you approach the goblins. Do you go up and fist bump one of them?
Oh yeah, we go and give the secret goblin handshake.
Oh. The one who you fist bump looks a little bit confused, like they're reaching for a weapon, and then they look at the other one, and the other one looks at you, and you would actually recognize this goblin, Varn. This is someone.
It's Stab!
This is someone who you've met who is associated with Stab, and they'd say,
Oh,
"You Varn, we remember you."
yes. This is Varn. Them is the dumb humans.
He looks. He looks and says, "Stay with you,
Yes.
Varn and his friends. Okay, boss, you come out." And from around the corner of the gate comes, in all his glory, almost 4.5 feet tall. Looks like he's wearing some shoes that have like a couple inches of wood on the bottom.
He's got platform shoes.
Yeah, he's wearing a big wolf pelt over his shoulders with the wolf head on top of his head. A big yellow, toothy, pointed, kind of jagged smile. Around the corner comes Stop. And he says, Varn, you back?
Yes.
We're waiting to see the queen.
Who's waiting too?
Stab's going to serve the queen. If the price is right.
Oh, they got money. They got money.
The queen pays us 200 gold stab fight for the queen.
That's all your men are worth to you?
Well,
Shut up! Shut up, human!
we don't have to bury them. We just roll them into the sea. But expensive to train new ones.
Fair enough.
Varn, this ugly gray human speak for you?
No.
I speak for myself.
Damn.
See, he's as dumb as they come.
I thought they work for you, Varn.
They do.
Ah, good. Quiet, ugly gray human. You listen to your boss, Varn.
Is the gate closed?
No, it's open.
Ren just walks past everything.
Yeah, I also just walked
Yeah, I'm like
past.
first eyes just walking outside.
I will follow suit.
Ah.
But I'm gonna like lock pupils with Stab the whole way.
The two other goblins who were there with him, as you're all walking past him, you kind of like push him out of the way a little bit, and they're like, you can go. Stab say you have permission. They kind of like point their thumb outside the gate.
Wasn't waiting.
Pleasure
for
doing
permission.
business as always, Stab.
I have 50 goblin ready to go. Tell the queen.
Okay.
Stab, come with you. And he starts walking alongside you. I come with you, meet the queen. I tell her myself.
Okay. And Varn just follows along behind everybody else.
Good.
At least they
It's
followed
hard-
the
so
orders that I
hard to
gave
be
them
a
before.
people pleaser. There is such a thing as trying too hard, Stab.
Okay, you tell her. I'll wait outside.
It's fine. I don't give a shit. I'm just fucking with you.
Well, you've got to go and remember that goblins are very passive when they are in the minority. When they are in the superiority, that's when they are considerably more dangerous.
But yeah, I too have watched Goblin Slayer.
Oh no, this is straight out of the DMG.
Oh, okay.
Good.
I don't really read much on the monster lore.
Yeah, the book that we all have, but we never read.
I read the stat blocks
Yeah.
a lot.
I actually read. What did I read? I read Volo's cover to cover.
Yeah, Volos is pretty good.
Yeah.
Volos is definitely product of its time because Mordenkainen is really rewrites a lot of lore.
Yeah, that's true. Excellent. So you would based on Safeguard's directions and the information that Ren had, you would come to what looks like an abandoned farmhouse on the outskirts of the city, outside the walls. There's some trees nearby. It's very dark out here. There's very few lantern lights, but this particular house looks as though there's some light coming from the inside as you approach.
Is it like just the big barn door that you open up, or is there like a side door you go in?
Well, I'm glad you asked.
Oh. Arr.
We can drop ourselves.
Shouldn't have done that.
Yes, see this path here? So you'd be coming down this path. And I'm sorry I couldn't find a night version, but it is night.
It's fine. Oh god, he's tiny.
Yeah, I was having some trouble with the scale.
It's a huge house.
Well, what size is the grid set to pixel wise?
Yeah, let's look here. 1680 by 2100.
No. The grid. So there's a
Oh, I'm
secondary
sorry.
one.
25.
25. Yeah, I don't know. I'd have to play around with it.
Yeah, I was, and it was like the map was twice as big. It was like when I started, it was like 3,000 by 4,000. I'm like, well, that's ridiculous. So I did it down by half, and I can't get the grid to be like a good size. I can make the grid a little bigger. You think that'll be better? Do like 35 or something? Would that be better?
Yeah, I mean, I can't imagine it.
Unless we're gonna battle, I don't think it matters.
Well, that's
Yeah,
true.
that's also true.
That's true. Let me fix you guys. I mean, is that a little better? I was having a little trouble.
That's a bit better. I
Okay.
a little bit.
Okay, cool. Excellent. So, give me 2 seconds.
I think everybody else needs tokens.
As I fix my tokens.
Okay, where's everybody?
Tiny, teeny, tiny safeguard.
Yeah, that is a little better with the 35.
Why is safeguards token so small?
I don't know.
we always say we're gonna fix it, we never do.
Ellis, I gotta work with you on the token. They actually made it easier. There's an update where the DM can edit you can just hit like edit current token, so you don't have to like unsave the token and then save the changes. You can actually just edit it directly. Might still have to do the unsave and resave for like changing the size of it, but
Yeah, what I'm happy to do after is I can share my screen in Discord and we can take a poke if we have time.
or tomorrow.
Yeah, happy to meet on the weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Where's Tiny Safeguard? Or am I looking at the Wing of Terror?
I deleted Tiny Safeguard. That is Tiny Safeguard.
Oh, he's okay. Okay, here you go. There they are. I think we're waiting on Saloon and Varn. I'll help with Saloon. Varn, may I drop you? Good. Thank you. Great. Okay, great. At the end, you would see two figures emerge. You would recognize them as the two paladins who were at the Queen's side earlier at the Temple of Valkyr. Valden and Pranara. And they would notice your approach.
Do they stand at attention, or does it look like they're gonna allow us in?
No, yeah, they're just appear to be guarding the door and they're watching you approach. They do not appear aggressive.
Well, I'll go ahead. Everybody can follow.
Welcome. Valden would say, welcome. Queen's expecting you. And, I'm sorry, they would lead you this way, through this central courtyard. And as you come through here, you would see sitting on a couch two familiar faces. As you come through, you would see Ethelind and a certain gnome you might recognize as Sibo Bafflestone sitting on a couch.
Oh, is that Barney Bafflestone's son?
His nephew.
Grandson?
Yeah,
His
I think
nephew.
it was. And as you all enter, you would hear Adney sort of saying something to the effect of, "It's just not fair. She's not being reasonable at all." And Sibo is saying, "Well, my dear, you must understand that there's a troubled time. Oh, they've arrived."
Sibo, good to see you in good health.
He stands up and says, "Oh, I can't believe Barney said that you would come back again. I believed him, but it was There were dark days where my faith wavered.
Yeah,
The
the
old
old
man did
fart
have
was
a-
right. I found him. It cost me 10 gold. It was not fun.
That's true.
Well, the old man did have a certain sight to him, I suppose.
He's an old gnome. They all look the same.
The queen has been waiting very, very patiently.
Are we not on time?
You're right on time. Of course. Right this way. And because I got confused about my own map, he's going to lead you back this way.
Okay.
And Adney's actually going to stay on the couch, and she's going to say, "Yes, please do let me know how it goes if it's not too much trouble." She sort of hops back down. And Sibo's leading you in this direction. Sorry, there's so many tokens. I'm sorry. Over this way. Great. And into this room, basically.
Okay.
Yes. Excellent. 1 second, please. As you enter, you would see some familiar faces. At the table, you would see Queen Aelswith. As you enter, you would also see Elise Renaud. You would see a familiar face, Lambless. And then in the corner, sort of sitting on a box, you would see a very familiar druid.
You know, I was thinking about that guy this week. I'm like, who's that fucker that listened to the trees? I couldn't remember his name because it was like 3 years ago.
Who's who?
Who's Lambless again? I don't remember who Lambless is.
He was Ren's contact originally, and they met in the bathhouse.
Yeah.
Just to confirm, Safeguard and Saloon, are you and Varney, you heading in the main room? I'm happy to move.
Yeah.
Varn's in there, yeah.
Great. I just for my own.
Do you think with a technical issue?
Oh, it's fine. I didn't want to move you without permission.
Varn is divided by mitosis.
What? I didn't see a Varn token.
This one here.
Yeah, I dropped you. You're next to Versailles.
Oh.
Right, we have casual greeting with Damerick and Lambless.
Yeah, this is what I was saying earlier. I'm like, why am I doing this to myself? There's too many NPCs. Okay.
Varn secretly cast mirror image.
Oh.
Little did he know he could do that, but he did.
Is Varn gone? Where'd Varn go?
No, he's up there by Sibo.
He's under Sibo's name.
I didn't even see him. Lambless would actually. He seems very excited. He reaches out and he's going to grab your forearm with his hand to do kind of one of those handshakes, and he says, "Ren, I didn't know if we'd see each other again."
It's been some time for you, at least.
I've been through some shit, and from what I've heard, you've had a rough go of it as well.
Hasn't been easy, but you muddle through.
And he sort of whispers to you, and he says, "I've keeping my chin up here, but this has been a bit more of an investment in time and resources than I was prepared for originally. But I'm going to see it through."
Tell me about it. I'm not even from here.
Your master, any word from him?
I guess he asked about me, but we were indisposed.
Yes, the queen has been in contact, but she keeps the details close to the vest.
So look forward to hearing what's going on here. How's Candle?
He's late as usual, but I'm sure he'll make quite the stunning entrance. I think you'll be pleased if he's come through on what he's meant to have done today.
Good. From what I hear, our work's cut out for us. But Wouldn't have it any other way, I guess.
That's right. So, the queen would say, thank you all so much for coming. It really does mean a lot to me, personally. And if we can see this thing through, you'll all very much be in my debt.
I made a promise to your daughter, and I intend to keep it.
Sibo would say, and Your Majesty, would you consider perhaps revisiting the... And Elswith puts her hand out and says, no, I'm not going to involve Ethelind in these matters. It's not for her.
Might wanna.
Sibo sort of nods.
After everything she's already been through?
And she looks to you and says, exactly. I think she's been through quite enough. I can't ask her to take up the front lines of a war. Now, can I? I must keep her safe at this point.
From what it sounds like, you wouldn't have to ask.
You think that she's ready for this, Ren? I would value your opinion.
I think she was tough as nails before I met her. And we've been working with her quite a bit. I think she at least, even if not the front lines, to certainly be present. And this is her island too. She should at least be aware of what's going on.
She puts her hands on the desk and sort of, drops her head a little bit. Her hair, which is just kind of, she's letting it just lay down. Just kind of falls a little bit over her shoulders, and she says, "Very well. If you feel strongly about it, perhaps I am being overprotective." She gives Sibo a little nod. His face lights up, and he's whoop, and he bends time and space.
It becomes wide.
He bends time and space. Oh my god, what's happening?
Pretty tall for a gnome there.
Yes,
The world's tallest gnome.
yes, and
He's on stilts.
he casts enlarge. Roll 20 humor, and after a moment, he would return with Adney, who seems, a little happy, but seeing her mother, she sort of tempers it and just takes a seat sort of over at the side, out of the way, and says, thank you for reconsidering, Mother. Try to stay out of the way." She says, "Please don't be dramatic, Ethelind. Your friend Ren has caused me to see what perhaps I didn't want to see, that you're growing up and that this is every bit your fight, as it is ours." She just sort of nods.
Ren gives her a nod.
And she would say, "So, Captain Renaud, would you like to give us a status update?" And Elise, who has been, very serious since you met her, since you've, been reunited with her again. What's happening right now? There we go. She would say, "I have a tentative plan. We have a few different targets in mind. There are supply caravans moving between Haverhill, moving to the west. I think that a night attack would probably be best. We could use the coastal forest as cover, strike the caravans in erratic ways to confuse the enemies. It would allow for us to gain some supplies, and it would certainly hamper the vigilance efforts." And then Lamless would say, "That's all well and good, acting, Captain Renaud, but shouldn't we focus on my missing scouts in Haverhill? We must go find them, Your Majesty. We must take our forces east immediately. If they're being interrogated, there's no imagining what they could be telling our enemy." And she would, the queen would look and say, "There is the matter of delivering food to the people. We can handle that. We're going to have someone set up deliveries of grain and corn and the like. certainly you've seen some of the people begging. It's not good for morale. And I do agree that we need intelligence from the road to Haverhill to see what movements the Vigilant are making. Lameless did lose 2 of his scouts. They did not return. And Lameless would say, Your Majesty, they did have names, Ramesh and Akame. And Ailsworth would say, yes, I knew at least Ramesh somewhat well. But I don't know what the others would think about risking so much to save 2.
Information is power in war. If our enemy gains information from them, even the slightest, that puts us at even more of a disadvantage. And 2 experienced scouts be of great benefit once we are able to move past Haverhill. It has been quite some time. Likely they have fortified Hannenhold.
She nods, and she would look to the others to see if there were any other opinions from the party.
So you're not trusting your scouts to keep quiet.
You would notice
can be quite persuasive.
And if
They
they're
have a
truly
thing to
loyal
do.
to the queen, they would not give up that information.
Yeah, but I don't think they can go and say no. Doesn't they have some sort of those scroll thingers that read minds?
Yes, we prevented a shipment of them. Saved 1 or 2, which Ren used to contact you.
She nods, and Sibo would say, "Yes, I know that it took the elf quite a while to create those years, in fact, of study. I don't think he could replace them this quickly. You dealt him
Perhaps
quite a
not,
blow."
Perhaps not, but magic is varied. Perhaps not a spell of that caliber, but perhaps something else that is more on the individual focus. What I'm trying to say is whether or not they willingly give up the information may be irrelevant.
Well, if they had the scrolls, wouldn't you think that the city would have already been under attack?
Perhaps, or perhaps they're still waiting to make sure there's an absolute victory.
If they have faith in their so-called god, then they wouldn't have to worry about that.
Either way, personally, I believe the more immediate concern would be improving morale, and I think I might have a possible solution as to the food situation with Provost.
The queen would look at you and smile and say, please, Octavian.
To the northeast, there's is it halfling community?
Yes.
It's a community of halflings. Is it run by, or is it just a lot of the Lingenhalls?
When you left, you got the impression that it was run by the Lingenhalls.
Run by a family called the Lingenhalls. In our previous venture here in Provost, I, Deflator, and who else? And Elise were brought into an altercation with one of them who had acquired a powerful magic item and caused all sorts of trouble. However, it did bear one useful item. Was it a fruit or was it a seed?
It was I believe it was the sparkleberry. Sparkberry.
Sparkberry.
Sparkberries for my campaign.
Yeah.
Oh shoot! What was it?
It was
called?
like a sapphire fruit.
That's it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Ah.
Yes. Yeah. It was about the size of like a mango, and it was translucent, and glowing.
A sapphire fruit. Something that they believed that they could cultivate and use to enrich their farmland.
She yes.
On our approach from the coastline, we could see that the area where the community was appears to be thriving. Contacting them, they might be able to supply you with provisions.
Elaine, you ready? At the mention of the name, you would see Elise kind of roll her eyes and go, "Ah." She says, "Yes, I remember the place."
It appears our little misadventure is born fruit.
Yes, from what I've heard, Elise would say the Lingenhalls have grown rather wealthy. I think we could send a few of our I don't know, more persuasive agents there to barter a sort of a trade agreement.
Let them know it would be a great favor to those who helped bring them such great fortune,
Mhm.
and ensuring that it remains in their hands and not the hands of zealots,
Mhm.
may be in their best interest.
She would nod and say, "Well, then it's settled. At least you can send some of your soldiers to the north, perhaps to see. It's only a half a day ride to see if we can secure this sapphire fruit. Did you call it from the Lingenholms?
Yes, sapphire fruit and perhaps anything else that they might be able to spare. I was told that if I'm remembering correctly, the sapphire fruit is planted. They can cultivate it rather easily, and wherever it grows, it tends to enrich the land somewhat.
Mm-hmm.
They may have more than just fruit.
Mm-hmm. She'd say, "This is very interesting. Thank you for this, Octavia."
Of course.
So you're
my people.
Mhm.
Oh, go ahead.
No, I was just say you're suggesting that we would you suggest more of a small operation to recover the scouts, or should we march with greater numbers?
It
We could send
depends.
in those goblins.
The goblins, I think, would be perhaps a better distraction. Okay, and do we have any reports of fortifications or anything else in Haverhill, or is it merely a staging ground for their soldiers?
Yes, for the soldiers, and as well, we've had the last reports we received. They were constructing siege weapons.
Hmm. The goblins. Stab is willing to throw in his about 50 or so goblins in this endeavor.
It will cost you 200 gold, though.
She
For a
would say,
force of that size, I think that is a paltry sum.
"I don't." Elsworth would say, "I don't know how much we can count on from Stab, but he has not caused any trouble these past few months.
Well, if there's one thing goblins are good at, it is causing trouble. If anything, we might be able to use them either as a distraction to destroy the siege equipment, or have them perform the distraction by destroying the siege equipment,
Mhm.
and then perhaps stealthier of our group
Mhm.
can extract your scouts.
And
I
Valden,
resent that remark.
Valden, the paladin
I
from
meant
behind.
it in an endearing way.
Yes. The paladin behind Aelswith sort of brightens and looks at you, Octavian, and says, "A diversion."
Yes.
So the
Simple but reliable tactic.
both the siege equipment that threatens us, the missing scouts, and the blockade on the food supplies is all through Haverhill. Do I have that right?
Yes, that is true. You would know, Ren, that Haverhill is the breadbasket of the Western Hannon.
Well, Ren asked that.
Yes,
Yes.
yes, indeed. Being cut off from the food stores and the granaries of Haverhill has put quite a challenge on our supply lines.
Do you have any idea how the number guarding it?
That is what Well, and she sort of nods to Lambless, and he says, "That's what my scouts were supposed to find out." Justin, I lost music. Do we have music?
No, it's still going.
Is it? I'm gonna turn it up a little bit. Oh, it's just like soft.
Yeah, it's. I set it to Luke Q, so it's probably back on one of the lower songs.
Yeah, cool.
Let me skip it. I'm just on the night playlist. It's a little more
That's okay.
somber. There we go.
Adney would actually pipe up, and she'd say, "If I may," and they all kind of look at her, and she'd say, "Wouldn't it be easier if we could sneak through to simply go to the hold and kill the archivist? Would that not be the simplest solution?"
He's not
That
wrong.
would be the simplest solution, but we do not know what sort of other. May not be as simple as cutting off the head of the snake. We do not know how he and the abbots and air quotes tier have their hold over the vigilant. But think of it this way. If a united force of loyalists who come to liberate their city, people who can speak against the horror that have been committed in Tyr's name, perhaps we might be able to win over others who are, as they say, on the fence when it comes to siding the vigilant. That will make our job significantly easier, and perhaps make it far easier for us to get past any fortifications they may have. And a display of force will also do well to, well, legitimize the rule that you and your mother have over that city, over these lands.
We could also go with a path that both uses and lacks subtlety. We could amass, the Stabs, goblins, whatever Vanadori soldiers you can rally Octavian. Anyone that's able to stage a very obvious attack on Haverhill. A small group could sneak around and hoping that pulls troops from the hold could sneak around and infiltrate. I can easily get us in. And once in, Alice, what was the name of the monks' monastery in there?
The Open Hand.
Has anyone heard from the Open Hand recently?
Elise would say their monastery was taken, and most of them scattered. There is one or two I know that are in Soldier's Rest with the Vanadori, and others have been tending to the disaffected, attempting to lend aid and help where they can.
That's a shame.
They were small in number, but perhaps we could try to rally them.
If we can recruit them, perhaps have them join the infiltration party, we might be able to get a good force inside. And as for getting in, I can easily run up and over the walls with a rope and tie it off, and people could just climb their way in.
A solid plan.
Also possible to stage some kind of diversion on the, if we can pull the troops, stage a diversion on the opposite side of Hen and Hold, and then infiltrate the other.
This is a good plan. We'll have to rally quite the force to take Haverhill, especially if we are unsure as to what we will encounter. We will be placing all of our bets on that. Make our job to make the infiltration team's job easier.
Do we know what kind of siege weapons they're planning to build?
Elise would unroll a scroll and turn it around, and she points to it and she says, "It appears to be something that they're building that they've called the Trebuchet."
If it was anything else, I'd be disappointed.
The superior siege weapon.
Surely, but they would have backups. Do they have things like battering rams or even towers that they can use to push up to the walls to make access easier.
She does nod, and she says, "Yes, they do have towers and ladders and simple things like that. But the longer we wait, the more that they can build."
50 angry goblins with fire starter kits do a lot of damage.
That would definitely prove a distraction as well.
And to deal with
I
a
could do
problem,
that bare-handed.
no doubt.
But we don't want them to put out those flames too quickly.
Okay, so we give them Greek fire.
What's a Greek?
Yeah. To say,
There's these weird
goblins.
little men that run around selling gyros or whatever the fuck they're called.
Gyros.
Hell yeah.
Yes, the
I'm
lovers
pretty
of the
sure it's pronounced.
Some of them are
Gyros.
looking a little
Gyros,
green
gyros.
usually, but yeah, that's
Right.
it's them.
You could have just made a joke and be like, it's another clan of goblins.
That's not a joke. That's legit.
So, anyways,
Elswith would look to you, Varn, and say, "You trust this? You trust Stop?"
As far as I can throw them, which is about 4 feet.
She reaches under her cloak and she pulls out 2 bags tied with string, and she places them on the table, and she says, "I'm not used to handling coin myself, but these days, getting used to a great many things. Please give this to Stab, with my thanks."
Varn goes and makes a very malicious grin
Mm-hmm.
and goes and says, half a wee, and goes and reaches for the coins.
Yes, and you could add 200 gold to your inventory.
Whether that 200 gold actually makes it where it's going, that's a whole other question.
as long as Stab lives up to his end of the bargain, I don't care.
Oh, it'll just be Varn going and doing all this shit. Are you kidding?
He just has a bucket of tar and a mat and a box of matches. Just dips his arrows in it.
Basically, yeah.
They're bolts, not arrows.
Oh yeah, it's bolts.
Hey, that looks
Sick.
flammable. Oh yeah, it is.
Just shoots and all you hear is Ron go, whoa. That's a big one.
So we have Stobb's aid, and what's Domgeet doing for the cause?
The queen sort of rolls her eyes and she says, "The cheese right has been cooperative for his part, but he doesn't have any military forces. But he's been able to apply political pressure to some of the richer nobles who have stayed behind, who are still in the city, to provide the aid where they can. He's more of a political ally than a front line."
Was he the one that had you go and deliver the the message, Octavian?
Yes.
Well, he's very good with fire.
She sort of furrows her brow and she looks between Varn and Octavian.
Ryan just like snorts.
A misunderstanding. That's
He's
will
very
be
good at
rectified.
making things that go and burst into flames. He's very good at it. We have it on very good authority too. Maybe we can use him to go and make some of these explodey things.
Or we can let him sit back and do what he needs to do to keep the peace within the city.
Or we put him on the front lines and then we don't have to worry about the city.
As much as I would enjoy seeing his fat head peppered with arrows, I
Wow,
will
you're
have to
vicious
disagree.
today.
Little
This is
dark.
just a regular human man who has done nothing wrong.
You don't know that.
You're the one who threw it.
The past
Regardless,
is
though,
the past. Past is the past. Let's just focus on now and the future.
okay, so pretty much we're planning on at least the goblins torching the staging camps while we try to create diversions to get closer to our main objective. Correct?
That appears to be the plan.
Yes.
Grace, what forces do you have to bring to bear? Your
Us.
soldiers.
Yes, she'd say, we have several camps on the outskirts of the city. We could probably muster 500 easily, and if we were to do any more recruiting from the neighboring villages, I could probably double that.
That is good. That is a lot better than I thought we were going to have.
And she'd say, but you do. There was the other matter of the Venadori. They are trying to become what they once were, what we know that they can be, but they require a bit of
I have a plan for that.
coaxing. I know as well as anyone here that 50 Vanadori are worth quite a bit.
Oh,
They
those
will
are
join.
our frontliners.
They will join. They will join your cause. I guarantee that.
Sibo, how are things in Arvis? What's going on there?
Yes.
Yeah, how's Uncle Barney?
Isn't he dead?
He would say,
He's been out and about.
well,
fair.
yeah, he'd say, well, we were forced out of Old Baston, and you would know that that's what the gnomes insist on calling Arvis, because it was once their city. He'd say that I don't know that there'll be much left that we can rebuild, but we're a hardy folk, and we can start again. As long as the
How
ground
much of
is
it did you blow up?
well, as long as the ground is still fit to be tilled. And he would look to you, Varn, and he would say, "Was Barney right? Where he said?"
Yes! God damn it! You fucking... He just goes and starts babbling at himself, pissed off that he still lost that 10 gold.
Elise just looks over and says, Alis said that he was right. And Sibo says, Barney told us where you'd be, somehow knew that you'd all step out of time and walk through, he said, an ancient wood, coming out to turn the tide with mere moments to spare. Barney said a lot of things, but in his last days, he seemed to have a lucidity, a clarity that we'd not seen in many years. There won't be a bastion to rebuild if we don't win this, so I think it's time that I share this. And Sibo would place a scroll on the table, and he would say...
Barn's inheritance.
Yeah, he would say, forgive me, your grace, for not showing it to you sooner, but... Well, this is the last will and testament of Barney Bafflestone.
Wait, he's dead?
Yes.
God damn it.
As a sign of respect, Octavian will uncuff his shield and place it one edge on the ground, put both of his hands kind of on it. Kind of like how you stick your sword in the ground.
Yes.
Kind of thing. So.
Trying to... Okay. I've got a handout incoming. I'm going to drop it in OOC. Sibo would unroll it, and he says, the last will and testament of Barney Bafflestone. He'd say, there's 3 parts to it. The first part, and he puts a hand on your shoulder, Varn, and he says, may it be known that the Black Tongues are free from their vow to the Bafflestone clan.
Already?
You've done a great service for us, and it wouldn't be fair to ask any more of you.
Oh.
If you can find the rest of your clan, let them know that they're free of their servitude.
Okay. That was unexpected. Okay.
And then he'd say, the second part, it's a list of ingredients, and I think I've figured it out. Powdered sapphire, sulfur, ginseng, and peppercorns. I've been looking at it for a bit, and he he turns to Elise and says, "I was rather thinking," and she says, "I'm sorry." She says, "I think that." She says, "Yes, I think that Father and my sister could do something with that. It's an explosive of some sort, no?" Sibo says, "That's what I've worked out. If we could get the pieces together, it could be quite useful against some of those siege engines, and perhaps in other ways as well." And then he says, "And this last bit here, this bit is a little confusing. I don't rather know what to make of it. Barney went in and out of making sense in his last days. You all understand." And he says, "The wind blows east, and the general, the brigand, the spear, the freed, the lost, the quisling, and the gentle, apostates all, will cut the rot with the bladeless sword, and let the daughter bring the dawn. I don't know what to make of it, but he was seeing some strange things there towards the end. It might have been the nightshade tea, but that's what he told me to write." I'll enjoy that.
It's pretty good.
Hmm.
I like that. I'm trying to figure out who each is each.
At
Sacred's
this,
definitely the spear.
Obviously, you're the general, Ren's the brigand.
Oh, yeah.
Varn might be the freed because he was just freed
Yeah,
from the vow. I don't know what's a keysling.
Quisling, I think?
yeah, Quisling.
Maybe that's Saloon because she's mysterious and confused a lot of times.
Sibo sort of looks over at the teeth. Are you doing this in character, perchance?
No, I'm.
Okay.
Thinking out loud.
And I don't know who the heck of any of us are gentle. Oh, B, duh.
Yeah.
The one who's not here, that's why I didn't think so.
So then I guess Versailles is considered the lost.
Guess.
Maybe you're the keys. I don't know what a quisling is.
I don't know what Quisling is either.
Because Saloon could be the lost.
Or the Quisling.
No,
That's
the
cool.
lost I think is B.
I
But
don't think
B's
so. Or I
gentle.
think B's exactly where she
gentle,
wants
yeah.
to be.
I don't know.
Anyways.
Barney also said he saw something, and and this is when I really thought he was making no sense. He said that he saw some vision of some sort of a Harangan with some sort of a milkmaid. I don't know what he was talking about.
Ugh. It appears even outside of our serene we cannot escape that God's forsaken play.
At this moment, there is some rustling coming from outside the door. Saloon, if you're standing where your token is, what is that?
What?
Oh boy. Welcome to the stream, McClunky Squadron. We're being raided. Hello, McClunkies. Welcome.
Clunky.
McClunkies. Good to see y'all again.
That definitely sounds like a group of goblins.
Yes. You're all here at a wonderful time, actually, if I may, because there's a rustling at the door. And you would
Dobbs
hear
goblins.
a voice coming from outside.
Mr. Candle.
You would hear, we know you know something. Don't give us any trouble now. And from outside, you would see a familiar tabaxi.
God, that was his fucking token.
A familiar tabaxi who actually enters, and he's actually holding a figure that has a hood over his head. And he says, "Ah, Queen, this one knows something." And he kicks him, and he falls to the ground. He says, "Hello, my friends. Last I heard, you turned tail and you fled to Neverwinter. Ah, Mr. Candle knew better, though. This one has intel. We caught them skulking around the cheese quarter, didn't we? And he kicks him.
Okay, hold on. So this.
Yeah, so there's a hooded figure with his
Pretty
with
sure
his with his
that's the
hands
cheese
tied
right.
behind his back.
That's the cheese, right? Calm down,
Chris,
Octavian.
Let's go and pick up my shield and strap it back on. A spy, huh?
You want me to? I can leave the hood on so he not see you, or maybe it not matter because he not gonna live much longer anyway. And he gives him another kick.
I'm sure he can. Worst case scenario, he can be persuaded to forget our faces.
But he's gonna die. It doesn't matter.
Ah, Kendall. He liked the way you think, Vaughn. Good to see you again, my friend. What kind of trouble
Hello.
have you been getting into?
Pull back the
All
hood.
of it.
Yep. Kendall pulls the hood off, and you would just you would see a human male. He's got some cuts on his face. Hair is scraggled up a little bit. Arms are tied behind his back, and he has a gag in his mouth. And he's you shut up, you! And Kendall kicks him again.
Is he just like a guy?
Yeah, just a dude. You don't recognize him.
I'm gonna walk up and I'll pull the gag out of his mouth. Can't exactly answer questions if you cannot speak.
He can write.
It's called tenderizing, Octavian.
So you've pulled the
Alright,
gag out.
sir. He speaks when spoken to.
Yeah. So, I'll kind of, as I pull the gag off and I step back a little bit, I'll use the edge of my shield to kind of like put it on his neck and underneath his chin. It says, "Now, just understand that because I have not drawn my blade does not mean that you are safe from harm. One good thwack from this, and I will cave your nose inside of your skull. Make one wrong move, my friend, my robed friend here, will punch you so fast you won't even know what happened. And the goblin back there, well,
I
you won't
wave.
see. You won't see the bolt coming. So, I suggest you speak plainly, clearly, truthfully, and perhaps you walk away with this with your life. Is that understood?"
He nods.
Take the
And
shield
what's
away.
his name?
This guy.
Yeah.
I don't know. I didn't ask. And he kind of grabs his hair, pulls it back a little bit, and he says, "What's your name?" And he says, "I'm Countess Herringbone. You're all making a very big mistake, but we can turn this
Countess.
we can turn this into an opportunity if you're smart about it."
All right. Now I know who to go and call when he's going and running away. I want him to look at me when I shoot him.
Depends on what you mean by opportunity.
Trust me, if the goblin shoots me, the queen won't see the dawn.
Oh,
He
is
said
that
I
a
was
fact?
going to shoot you.
I pull out my blade.
I can always stab you too.
Listen, friend. Trust me when I say this. I'm the nice one. So,
And Varn grins.
sneaking around in the cheese quarter, What were you hoping to gain from such activity? Do they think the cheese right has anything important to tell you?
Huh.
I can assure you he doesn't.
She told us that the queen had a Vanadori puppet. I was expecting something more.
You haven't seen me fight, friend.
Oh,
Trust
can,
me. Go
can
ahead.
Ren grab the guy?
Ren can do whatever the fuck he wants.
Ren is gonna grab the guy and like throw, like kind of like slam him so he's like bent over the table.
All right.
And he's gonna take out his sword and he's gonna like
Here, I'll do this. I can't. Never mind. All right, yeah, here you go.
so he cuts the guy's bindings and then slams the guy's hand on the table and just gets ready to cut off a finger.
Oh, here we go again.
Told you I was the nice one.
People always take so goddamn long to get to the fucking point in tortures. I mean, even when I was the one being the tortured, it's like, fucking get on with it.
Well, do you want to hear my terms, or
I'm
you want to
fucking
start
waiting. And your
No.
finger's not... You're about to lose a finger if you wait longer.
You let me go, and I will do what they call a prisoner transfer. Lamless here will get his 2 scouts back, and I'll tell you who in this room is the traitor.
Pretty sure it's you, dumbass.
Who else then?
Can I look around the room and kind of get like a general insight and see if anybody kind of perks up when he says traitor?
Sure.
Ooh, 21.
Shit. There's a general nervousness in the room, certainly. People are looking around a little bit. But I don't think anybody has more sweat than anyone else.
I don't get it. Nobody kind of like pupils dilate. Nobody kind of like their eyes start to move a little bit more.
Not that you notice.
All right. So we have a traitor in our midst. How about this? Tell us who the traitor is, and then maybe we will consider sending you back to your zealotous fuckwits.
I think I just start taking parts. And when he's had enough, he'll tell us what it is. I mean, I start with the fingers.
That's true. We don't have to send it back in one piece.
Exactly. I mean, I take the fingers, then the eyes, then the tongue, and then the
He
ears.
needs that to he needs that to speak. Take the tongue last.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, so the ears, then the tongue last, and we'll see how he likes that.
Maybe start with the toes. He doesn't need those at all. Those still hurt.
No, he needs to be able to walk around.
Yeah.
Perhaps rip out the nails first, and then slowly cut each knuckle.
Lamless.
Warren flinches and looks at Versailles.
I
don't
thought you
have
was
all
the
of
nice
them.
one.
I'm just feeding off of everyone's energy right now.
Bark.
Sorry, I'll be back. She's snapping at the other pup because she's fat.
Go ahead.
Lamless would place just, like a hand on your, very lightly on your elbow, Ren, and just say, "Look, Ren, I'm not going to get in the way, but if there's any chance we can get our scouts back, maybe we can hear him out."
Lamless, you seem awfully unconcerned with the fact that he is claiming there is a traitor in this room.
Lies, I'm sure. He'd say anything to spare his own life.
Make an insight check on Lamless specifically.
Sure.
Damn it.
Yeah, you're not getting anything specific from Lamless. He seems.
So what happened just now?
Lamless is, just asking. He's concerned about his 2 scouts because this guy, Cantus Herringbone, has
Lamless,
offered.
your 2 scouts. Lamless, your 2 scouts are going nowhere so long as this one is with us.
And he takes his hand off Ren and steps back.
If they truly wish to do a prisoner exchange, then they will do nothing to them until they have him.
That's true.
So,
Well, they might not even know that we have him at all. So that.
but there is always the possibility, contingencies. Besides, they know they have a bargaining chip. They know that we want them back. Or at least one of them.
Believe me when I tell you that she'll make it worth your while if I get back in one piece.
Who's she?
Let's start with she.
You don't know? The right hand of the abbot.
Oh,
So it's her, and he points at Pinara.
Rosalind. Yes,
Yeah.
I believe she made quite the tumble when I believe Varn, you shot her horse dead in mid pursuit. She went face first into the dirt. It was quite
I don't-
hilarious.
I don't know. All you humans look alike.
She remembers that. The cleric Rosalind Levert is not one to be trifled with, believe me.
Apparently, that's her then. Varn climbs up on the table and sits with his foot up. He puts the crossbow on his foot and it goes and starts slowly drawing it back and loading it.
Is that the weapon that killed Gaffoy?
The what?
I pull out, I draw my sword and stab it into the desk right next to his ear and say, "No, this one."
It's going to look wonderful hanging above the grand fireplace in
At
the hold.
mid sentence, I put the edge of my shield on his throat and start to crush his windpipe. Now, I'm going to take this off of your throat so that you can speak, mongrel. And I suggest that the next words that come out of your mouth are the name of the traitor, or the next thing that will come down is Ren's blade on your fingers.
His hand comes up and it starts, and it's looking like he's trying to point. As you're crushing his windpipe, it looks like he's trying to point.
Who's pointing to?
He's pointing in the direction of the queen.
I take it, but only lift it off enough so that he can breathe.
And he says, "It's her." And at that, Pranara says, "Hail Tyr!" and moves to the queen. We can roll initiative if you want.
Oh shit! Okay.
Well, I'm fucked.
That's what you get for not wearing your armor. 24/7.
No, I didn't bring any weapons.
Oh shit! I mean,
Yeah.
I got some daggers if you want to use them. I have magic, you know.
Do you remember when I said like 3 times? I'm like, so Versailles doesn't have her bow. Is that right?
I can give you a weapon.
Narrow bread.
Panera bread.
I improvise a weapon.
No, I
That's
would
all
say Versailles can use swords and bows. So
Oh, we're rolling. Okay.
I didn't have my thing selected, so I need you to give me a turn.
Oh, sure, I got you.
Yeah, I need one too.
I got you. 27.
Why?
Mine's still not
I wanna
fucking
play
rolling
tonight.
through.
Yeah, my
What the hell's
my
going on?
Beyond
That's
20
weird.
is not working.
I'll add some stuff manually. Don't worry.
And the result of this roll to turn tracker. No valid token was distracted.
Oh, you got to click.
Yeah, it just means you didn't select your stuff on roll 20.
Let's see, hold on. Let me do it one more time. So I got Ren safeguard roll. You got a 10.
I need one.
10,
I'll
yeah.
do
Got
one
a
at a time.
6.
Okay, hold on. Varn also has a 10. You said.
Yes, I've got a 10, but I've got a plus 10 to my.
Okay. I will put a
initiative.
10.1 if that's all right. for
No,
Varn.
that would be a 20.1.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yep, my bad. 20.
Or 20. Yeah,
Yeah,
I've got max dexterity too, so it's
Okay.
20.5 or whatever. I don't know.
Okay. And then Saloon. What did Saloon roll? I see a 6. Okay.
Yeah.
And then we've got. Who am I missing here? Versailles?
I rolled an 18.
Yes, I got you. Where's Versailles standing? There's so many.
Right near, yeah, I'm like right in, pretty much.
Yep. Yeah, there was something on top of you.
Besides, a bow wouldn't do much good in close combat.
True. Versailles has an 18.
Dang, I learned how to use a dagger.
Anybody not on the turn tracker who wants to be there? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep, that's everybody. Great. And
I mean, would Ethelind help?
what's that?
What about Ethelind?
Absolutely, of course. Let's roll. Oh! I can roll her from beyond.
Oh,
She has a +4, not terrible. A 12. Okay, excellent. So as the paladin standing behind Aleswift, she yells out, "Hail Tyr!" And she has her weapon at the ready. And Ren, you have an opportunity.
Ren will say to Lamless and Candle, make sure this guy doesn't go anywhere. And I'll just jump right on the desk, jump straight over the queen's head,
Mhm.
and land
Hold
on
on.
whatever this is.
Dynamic entry.
Yeah, it's like a map table kind of thing. Okay, wow. Yep, that's a big hit. So that is 12.
Stunning strike.
Okay.
Let's go.
That is a remind me of the save.
Oh, and I find it DC 17 Constitution.
Wow. Oh, jeez. 19. Another big hit for 13.
Stunning strike.
Okay. That is a nat 1.
Let's go. Rotated idiot.
And I guess flurry of blows.
Pop. Wow. Hey, good hits. I hit every single hit.
Nice. That was a total of 38 damage, Ren. Is that accurate? That's what I got.
Yeah, that's it.
Ren has flipped over the table, over the queen, and landed several serious-looking blows with both his glowing sword as well as his bare hands. And that's the end of his next turn. We come to Varn.
Ren will make sure to say, make sure we get her alive.
Ooh.
What was that, Alice?
I said we come to Varn.
Oh, okay, gotcha. We'll see if this guy actually goes and works. I just went and reinstalled Beyond 20, so...
Me too.
Oh,
That's
great.
what I did. It works.
Good, good.
Does it? Okay.
Like a new version, maybe? Yeah.
So let's see here. Well, we're far enough away. Yeah, Varn's gonna go and spin on his ass and fire the first bolted Panara. Let's see here, whatever it is. And just for shits and giggles, we're gonna sharpshooter it and put it right between her eyes.
Ooh.
He did shout out take her alive.
Oh, he doesn't care.
Yeah.
No one
That's
actually
why I
listens to Ren.
I do. Most of the time.
Yeah, it's still mine still isn't working for some fucking reason.
That's weird.
Did you refresh both? Oh, there it is.
Did it finally
it.
show up? All right.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, first one misses.
Okay. 25
I'm
damage.
assuming.
Look at that.
Yeah. Varn's crossbow is not.
Ren, did you have advantage on that first unarmed strike?
Yeah.
You did?
Yeah, because she was stunned.
Correct. Great. Okay. Let's just going back through the thing.
All right. Well, we're gonna go and take our second shot then, and try to put it through her kneecap.
Are you on top of the table?
Yes.
Yeah, then you would have a clear shot at her. Oh.
Nope. Varn shoots the table.
It goes wide and hits Ren. No, it does not. Okay, so no. Okay, Varn is jumping up on the table, firing a couple of shots. They go a little bit wide. Will bring us to Versailles.
Okay. Let me see what I'm gonna do.
Varn looks down. I'm burning these underwear.
Versailles gives a withering glance, brings us to Octavian. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm like, be patient with me, please.
Of course.
She's all out of range. Well,
This is the first time we're gonna see her cast magic in battle.
she doesn't have any offensive spells.
Hmm.
Well, that sucks.
Yeah, most of the ranged offensive spells are like attached to weapon attacks.
Yeah. Well, I guess she'll just move over. Surprised you didn't have Elise join in this one there, Alice.
Oh, good point.
It's like she's right there.
Did the map just move for anybody? No, that was weird.
No.
No.
But Versailles could like help restrain that guy.
Wow.
So she doesn't get away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do have a light crossbow, but I believe that's in the wagon.
What was that you said? Cobra, I couldn't hear you.
I was saying, I mean, at least could if she doesn't have weapons, could go move over this guy and make sure he's restrained.
That is true. I forgot about him.
Mhm.
Okay. Alright, so she'll help restrain that. What do I need to roll for that, though?
Oh, like a grapple, I think. That would be a. Well, let me think. He's bound. So it would be normally a contested strength check, isn't it? Strength against.
Yeah.
So it's athletic. Her
Athletic
athletics
or-
versus his athletics or acrobatics.
But if he's bound, is that effective?
I mean, technically he's not
Maybe.
bound because Ren had to cut his binding so he could slam the guy's hand on the table.
Fair enough. Okay, yeah. So I guess roll in athletics for Sai, and I will do the same. I rolled a 10.
21.
Okay, Versailles, I believe you have him grappled.
I'm just pinning him to the table so he doesn't move.
Yes. Yes, so Versailles would leap into action, grabbing Herringbone, waylaying any potential escape, which would bring us to Octavian.
All right, I'm gonna, seeing that he's restrained, I'm gonna pull my sword out of the thing. Can I move through allied spaces?
Yeah. You just can't end your turn there.
Yeah. Okay, so if I do that, just kind of move between Versailles and Landless, as I'm passing Valden, I'm gonna point my sword at him. But as I'm passing, and I'm gonna come over here, and we're gonna do the bonk with with my sword. I'm just gonna slap her in the head with the flat side of my blade.
Okay.
With advantage because she's stunned. That's a
Wow.
28, my dude.
Wow. So that's a 14.
Yep. She's not undead, so she doesn't take more.
Okay.
Hold on. It's doing a. There we go. All right, and then a second one. 17.
17 would hit.
Okay.
And
How's she looking?
how would you like to incapacitate her?
Okay, cool. So the first one just slap right on the side of her temple, like right where you have to hit somebody to knock them out with your bare hands, and then going to then kind of pull blade back, just barely graze her armor, full on, like full body shield bash, and then pin her to the ground with the shield. Just put my entire armored weight behind it. Just knock the wind out of her.
Wow. Yeah, so she is downed.
Yep.
Excellent.
And then I just hold there.
Excellent. As you're doing this, Octavian, you would notice that Adney was kind of jumped to her feet, and she was kind of fumbling for her sword, and she's kind of looking on. And she says, "Mother!" And Elswith sort of, she turns, her cloak sort of flying out as she sort of steps back. And Valden behind her has drawn his sword, and he's kind of looking, like everyone's kind of pauses for a moment.
Valden, if you are truly loyal, then you will back the fuck up.
He says, "I serve the queen." And he sheathes his sword and he steps back. And I believe that will drop us out of initiative.
All right.
Is that the first one we did where no one got hurt?
I think so.
It's those.
Well, she got hurt.
I mean,
No, I meant out of the party.
it's those stunning strikes.
Yeah.
Very useful.
Yeah, there's certain like I don't use them too much, but there's certain circumstances where it's just like that's what you do.
Oh yeah.
You point at this guy and you say, "No turn for you."
Yep.
Especially like when it's a single target, like there's only one enemy. Like
Yeah.
I'm getting this back on track.
Thank you. It's, I know I say it all the time, Justin, but thank you so much.
Hey man, if you're good at something.
Yeah.
All right. So now with Pranara knocked out, I'm gonna get off and then start tying her up. That sounded really bad, but you know what I mean. Legs,
I say
arms behind.
we pick her up and put her on the sofa.
Yeah. Tie arms behind back, tie legs together.
Yeah.
Take all of her weapons. Take
Like the sofa, like over here. This one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, Mr. Herringbone, you were of some use. Perhaps we will consider giving you back to your cohorts.
He'd say.
Anyway, continue, sir.
He'd say. Herringbone would say. She said. I should have let her kill you. At Aylesworth.
You really think she could take all of us here?
I mean, it wouldn't have happened now. It would have happened in 2 hours, and the queen is asleep.
Also true.
Do you have Pranara gagged, or is she unconscious? I forget what happened.
She's unconscious.
Okay.
I have not resuscitated her yet.
Okay.
Based on game, she would be unconscious for 1 hour, at the end of which she would gain 1 hit point and wake up.
Okay. Excellent. And he would say, and now, I will await your keeping your word, and this one will get his scouts back. A fair trade.
We will discuss it. Candle the gag, if you would.
With pleasure, my friend. And he comes up. Candle's gonna come up, drag him off the desk, and sort of fling him over here, and make sure he's tied up tight. Put the gag back in his mouth, and just for good measure, he's gonna put the bag back over his head and kick him again.
Hey, Candle. Do that again. I missed it the first time.
He says, perhaps for this service, the Queen's mercy, maybe we just cut your throat instead of hanging you. And Aylesworth says, Mr. Candle, please, we're not going to get... I'm trying to think of a better word than medieval.
Not be barbaric.
Yes, we're not going to resort to barbarism. But certainly this miscreant will be dealt with.
Orn wanders over next to Candle and starts going and discussing ideas with him. First one, tie him to a board and drag him behind a horse with his head hanging over the side of the board, or the end of the board, so it bounces.
Aylesworth, how long was Pranara in your service, your guard?
She'd say, well, she's been a loyal soldier for many years, and she was just recently promoted. I received a letter recommending her.
By whom?
From who?
And she sort of pauses for a minute, and she says, "From the cheese right."
Knew it.
Guess we're going to talk to Mr.
Well,
Cheese
it appears
next.
my planned conversation with Mr. Don Meat just got a lot more interesting.
Anyone else hear that phone ringing? Because I think Leg called it.
Who's
So I think-
criminal?
We can certainly go have a conversation. The cheese, right?
But do you think he's actually going to give up any information willingly?
No,
No, that
that's
doesn't matter. He'll be under arrest.
But can you actually prove that it was his intentions for Pranara to betray the queen?
I
We can
How
rule it out.
persuasive we can be.
Adney sort of takes a few steps forward. She has her blade in her hand, and she says, "It would be quite a strange coincidence, would it not?"
What?
How recent? Well, let me ask. How recent was her letter of recommendation?
She sort of frowns and she nods to Sibo, who kind of starts shuffling through some papers. And she says, "I think it must have. It couldn't have been 1 moon.
Last week.
It's only been a few weeks."
Well,
So who
No.
promoted her then? If she was in your guard?
she did.
Yes.
Then why would you get a letter of recommendation?
That's
Oh, who fronted the letter?
That's what my question was going to be. What does the cheese right know about your guards that he would have any influence?
Ailsworth would say, "There are old customs in Hannon. It's become a rather more perilous position of late, but traditionally, different a position in my personal guard or my husband's personal guard was a position of great honor, sometimes given to the children of powerful nobles as a way to earn respect and credibility." And
Can I nominate myself?
that custom has been carried forth, but I see now that in times of war it should be based on other criteria, but I still find myself beholden to certain benefactors.
in my
Trade-
experience, nepotism does not get you as far as loyalty.
Clearly
Or,
not.
No, not loyalty. Does not get you as far as merit.
Orn looks around. Does he see any paper?
Sibo has some papers, on the desk that he's sort of flicking through.
Varn goes and snags one of them
Mhm.
and starts writing a letter on the back of it.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Sibo would say, "Mr. Vaughn, please do be careful. This is rather important ledgers."
Yeah. I got a letter to write.
Oh, yes, I forgot I was Irish a minute ago. Something caught in my throat. Careful there, Mr. Vaughn.
Well,
Yeah. How do you spell nominate?
Nomi. What are you doing?
use your best guess for it. It needs to be authentic.
Oh, that's fair. Okay.
Nomin8.
Yep.
Octavian will look to the queen and say, "Though the others, you shut the fuck up, Google. I wasn't talking to you, bitch."
Wow.
I'm glad I'm not the only one who speaks to my Alexa like that.
Octavian,
Anyways.
who's Google? I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Look to the queen and say, "Though the others use it to, twist the knife a little bit. Small part of shame on my end. As far as I am aware, Cheese Right and I have engaged on business before. We were cordial initially, and we have not had any interaction since the misunderstanding. Perhaps that may be of benefit to get us in the door."
His personal guards are nothing.
Yes. I wouldn't even need my shield to take care of them.
Besides, I quite like the idea of him knowing that we're in the building and we're coming for him, and let all the possible thoughts race through his mind of what we're going to do when we get to him. It can do a lot of work for us, so, let his imagination run wild before we're even there.
Elise would say, "Is there not a benefit to not letting him know right away that he's been found out? Perhaps we could follow him or use him to get some valuable information."
Well, from what I understand, from what Herringbone was saying, is that the queen was supposed to die tonight. So if that doesn't happen, She's Right will know that his assassin failed.
Or, perhaps, we can keep him in the dark. So, Grace, perhaps if you lie low for the next few days, perhaps not to leave this place, he will think that the job is done.
That crossed my mind, but I think morale at this point is the most important thing. If the queen goes missing and starts rumors start flying that she is dead, then we could lose many more people to the cause.
That is true. Well, then swift action, I think, is the best thing to do. Get the cheese right in custody, get him talking, put the squeeze to him. And believe me, I have seen the man. There is a lot to squeeze.
Elise
He's
sort
like,
of
kind of like a big, like pompous, like bloated dude, right?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
His token was Dom DeLuise.
Safeguard, what's your take on all of this?
Frankly, I agree that public image is number one, and morale is the absolute highest order. So that's about the only thoughts I have.
Adney comes over to you, Safeguard, and says, "If we were to pretend that Mother was killed, it could be interesting politically, but it would destroy morale in the city. I don't think it's worth it."
Is there any other way we can lure the cheese right out?
Not that I know of. It seems that his business rivalry with Staub seems to have been abated for the moment. That would be the only other thing I could think of that would rustle his feathers.
Where would Domgeet be now? Does he sleep in his cheese building?
Ailswith would look to Sibo, who would nod and say, "As far as I know, he comes out occasionally for certain meetings or to take an evening stroll, but he should be there."
Are there any secret exits that anyone might know about?
Sibo shakes his head and kind of looks around the room, and you don't see anyone jumping forth with that information. Candle would say, perhaps I could go take a look, sneak around, see what I can find.
I would just hate for him to weasel out. I mean, I could always just get to his office.
Yeah, could we? Well, that's true. Could we send someone over to just let him know? We could find out. He gestures to Pranara. Find out how she's going to let him know that the job is done. We can send word. He lets his guard down, maybe.
That's good. I mean, I just did have an idea if anyone would have a possible way for me to use something. How high up was his office in the building?
I believe it was on the second floor.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, if you like start your turn at the end, you could just run right up and bust through the window.
I mean, that was my thought. Like, so let's just run and say, I mean, I could just run up the wall, crash in the window, and throw him out of it. Doubt he'll die from one-story fall.
If he drastically hurts himself, I can be there. At least heal any wounds that would hinder him walking, because I'm not going to roll him somewhere.
I'm sure we can get a cart ready. Just throw him on and
Do that. I do like the idea, though, of picking out a weak part of the wall and having Safeguard on the Winged Terror just bust through the door and have everybody panic.
oh yeah.
Perhaps get Versailles up on a nearby roof, and if anybody scurries out of an alleyway, hit them in the ankle.
there any way it could be of use?
Perhaps. Is it possible that you might be able to make some of us unseen? So perhaps it only looks like he's getting one visitor instead of 4.
No.
Hmm.
I can make
Perhaps,
myself unseen.
You have the. Are you talking about the your Feylock ability thing?
I have greater invisibility.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so you can make yourself unseen. That could work though, because greater invisibility doesn't drop when you do other stuff, but it only lasts a minute, so we have to be quick.
So
greater
that's
invi-
also
greater-
really small too.
Greater invisibility works on other people too.
It
Oh,
does?
it
Yeah, the
does.
touch spell.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it is touch. Yeah.
Oh shit. I have darkness. I don't know how much that'll help.
The
but
problem is, unless we have Devil Sight, we can't see it.
true.
That's something you just cast in front of the door and tell somebody to run.
I do have
Oh,
my
yeah.
Misty Escape though, yeah.
Yeah, Misty Escape. Do you have anything that can? Do you have like Dimension Door or anything like that?
Nah.
The only
Dimension Door would
person
be
she
so
could
good.
go and take through it with her, though, is probably Varn.
I mean, she's still a medium creature, so she could take anybody else. So.
Yeah, but
it
it's
just-
her size or smaller.
It's not on the specifics. It's side category. So technically, she could take Safeguard if she wanted, but only Safeguard.
Oh.
Yeah. The size stuff. It's not like, oh, they have to be like maybe older edition. Like they have to be within like 6 inches of your height or whatever.
It's not
Nah.
calculating BMI.
I still have Rex too, if Rex can be of any use.
I mean, a familiar could be good because you can like see through his eyes and shit. You can scout with that, right? Because you're a active chain, right? Nice. Yeah, because with a familiar, you can look through their eyes, and if he can like sneak around, he can do that. That might be good to maybe go with Candle and be like his lookout or something while he scouts secret entrances.
I'm totally down to go with the Tabaxi.
The Tabax. What, Ellis? What is the Candle's thing from?
I'm not telling.
Oh.
Live action Thundercats.
Oh, is it?
No.
Oh,
No,
like-
I don't know. That's just what it.
That's what it looks
No,
like.
I've
It
seen
makes
it
me feel lying.
before.
I want to see if
I've
anybody
seen
can
it
guess it, and
before.
I will tell you though.
I just with hair, I only see Londo Malari.
Ah.
At first, I thought it was Tank Girl, the kangaroos, but I don't think that's it.
That's probably something I'm too young to know about.
Okay, hold on. Let me see if this works. Are you ready for it? You're gonna be disappointed.
I'm sure you showed us, 3 years ago.
This is from The Office?
Yeah,
Oh! Oh my god.
that's good, right?
Yeah, that's good. That's a deep pull.
That's a deep pull.
Is that Ed Helms?
Yeah, it's Andy when he was in Cats, and he's like, "Row, big tuna, row." That's great, right?
That is pretty good.
And
Shit.
I photoshopped it, and so like behind him you'd never know, but that Solitude from Skyrim is blurred.
Oh. How do you do, fellow Khajiit? Yes.
Yes, it is all right. You're waving your hand around like some kind of Jedi.
It's like halfway between fucking
Watto
him
and Londo.
Watto and Londo.
Yes, we've done it before, but for the benefit of the stream viewers. Hey, you got Watto is down here, but Londo Malari is up here for the glory of the Centauri Empire.
Right.
You know what? I feel like half the people with us don't have no idea what we're talking about.
I'm sure half of them are disturbed at this
Yeah.
point.
Just watch Babylon 5. Y'all won't be disappointed. Anywho. So I am down to have somebody scout out the place, see if they can find any secret entrances, and then have somebody wait there as a backup just in case, and then like Ren, Octavian, and maybe Safeguard.
Barnes just
Or no,
gonna jump through the window.
just like storm the place, like talk to him. Oh, saying they want to speak to him. Actually, no, maybe not Safeguard because he's known as like the queen. They're known as the Queen's Spear. So maybe have them by the secret entrance if there is one.
Well, didn't Ren, Varn, and somebody else go to the meeting with him the first time? So couldn't we just go and use that to our advantage, saying,
Yeah,
"Hey,
it was
we're back
Deflator
in
because
town"?
Deflator was still with
Oh
us.
yeah.
Yeah, we could do that. The three he knows. 'Cause, I mean, he's got like what the two bodyguards that we saw there. One
I
of them
think
looks
so.
like he looks kind of tough, but like, you know, tough for like normal people.
Right. So he's got what, 6 HP rather than 5.
I don't know, but either way, we could do that and just put the screws to him.
Hey, we got back in
I'll
town.
let them disarm me because I have the secret weapon. I got the lightsaber.
I think the fastest method is the best method.
I also of that mind too. So what? You run up there, bust into his office, hope he's sleeping there, and drag him out?
Was there a balcony on the outside of his window?
Yes.
Drag as best you can.
Yes, on his office. Yeah. So you went through like the shop, and then you went up a staircase, and there was halls going either direction. You were led to the right, went down a hall. There was like a waiting area, and then there was big double doors, and that was the office where you met him. And there was a big painting on the wall, and there was windows behind him. I'm not sure what kind of balcony there was behind him. You could maybe roll something to see if you remember.
Yeah. I mean, Ren could do what he did with the outside of Zickelmickel's office, which was the sole reason Ren took a spike and a hammer, was to do specifically what he did. He was not going to fucking impale the guy.
I thought you were going to crucify him. I didn't know what was going to happen.
No, I believe you now. I just didn't know what the fuck was happening.
So Ren can do that, so he can like slam it in, get in quick.
Mm-hmm. But that is all dependent on if he's in his office.
Right. Which, I mean, Ren can just run up and scurry
I was
up
gonna
the
say,
wall.
can't Ren just run up walls at this point?
I mean,
Yes.
yeah, literally he can run up walls.
So I could run up and look and see where he is.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, how much do Varn or Saloon weigh? Because Ren's, I mean, for a monk, he's not weak by any means.
Mm-hmm.
Barnes probably 75 pounds out of armor or so.
I am checking Saloon right now. Hold on. I think it was less than 100 or a little bit over.
I mean, he's only wearing studded leather, so he's not overly heavy.
I mean, Ren's carrying capacity is 210 pounds. His gear combined is 77.
Mm-hmm.
Not counting.
How do I
everything
try
else.
to-
If you wrote it down, it would be under your description. And it's under characteristics. It's right under the background section.
Are we still in the room with
Oh.
Ellsworth?
Yeah.
I have her as 88 pounds.
Tiny.
Varn
Yeah.
hops up and runs over to Ellsworth, crouches down in front of her, and holds her out his letter.
Huh?
All very badly written.
Oh, okay. So you're showing it to the queen.
Yep.
Okay. She would sort of, she's. Yeah.
Wait. I just actually looked at it. I thought you were reading it. You were writing it out for yourself, but you wrote it out to me. Oh, that's so sweet.
No, he's not gonna go and sit there idle and just sit on his ass. No, hell no.
Yeah, she's listening to this, she's seems a little like she's calming down a little bit. And you would hand her the letter, and she would look at you, Varn, and she would smile. And she'd take it. You would give her the piece of paper.
Oh yeah.
And she'd read it, and she'd say, "Truly, Vaughn, is it really your desire to serve in the Queen's Guard?"
Me? No.
And she reads it again, and she says, "Oh, Octavian."
What?
Octavian,
Nothing.
It appears as though you've been recommended.
You have a job.
I do have an opening, but perhaps when this business is over in the hold, we could discuss it.
You're welcome.
I appreciate the offer, Your Grace, but
He takes it.
there are things that we can discuss after this matter is done. You are right.
If what
Tarn gives her an overly obnoxious wink.
I appreciate the vote of confidence, Vaughn.
Thank you.
There wasn't no oath of confidence.
Yes, thank you, Vaughn.
I was trying to make you do a job I don't want to do.
Octavian, Elswith says, if what Danric tells me is true, your destiny does not lie at my side.
Well, the wind is very wise, according to Danric.
And he's just been sitting in the corner in this chair kind of the
He
whole
just
time.
watched the whole thing. It's like, this is cool. He's
He's
just
just-
eating popcorn.
Yeah, he's just chilling. His eyes are, a little glassy.
It's like the one guy who's always stoned in the corner in the party.
Me.
That's great.
Well, I do like Rent's plan. We go now, when he is perhaps slightly unexpecting. See if he's perhaps encountering insomnia in his office, and tosses him out the window. And we either catch him or resuscitate him. Either way.
So I did have a thought. If I would think perhaps if at the same time that perhaps Octavian and Safeguard approach the front with a writ for the arrest of the cheese right, perhaps Varn could shoot an arrow through the window to weaken it for ascent. I can run up carrying Saloon with me and break in there, so that way we're already on the second floor and have 2 points of entrance. And then Varn can either enter with Octavian and Safeguard, or stay back with Versailles and cover potential escape routes.
I like that.
That works
is
for
good.
me.
You would make a fine tactician, Ren.
Yeah. Different. Always learn from experience. Just very different ones than you probably had.
Thinking outside the box is always good. I like this. Destruction on one end, entry from another, cover from outside. I think it works. All we will need from yourself, Your Grace, is a warrant.
She looks to Sibo again, who looks up and he takes a clean piece of parchment, begins writing something out. He would turn it over to her, and she would take it and she would sign it. And they would have a quick thing where they actually have, one of the candles, they drip some wax on it, and the official seal is placed on it.
There's still the matter of this one. I point to Pranara.
I think a secure location should be found in Mr. Herringbone, Miss Pranara, and the soon-to-be arrested Cheesewright await trial. Because if I am not mistaken, Tyr is the god of justice, and what a way to show that perhaps it's not Tyr on their side, but Tyr on our own side, if justice is duly met out properly.
Elswith nods and she says, "There's a certain poetic justice to that."
Yes.
You
You
would
can save
be
the
quick with a
vigilante
fat dude.
justice. We can save the vigilante justice for another day. Wink.
Smash cut vigilante part 2.
Winks to the camera. Yes, that is good.
Pigeon Man, have you ever met my cousin?
I was looking
I
around
will-
the room. Do I see any like cups or mugs or anything like that?
Certainly scattered about. It would not be difficult to find a wooden cup or a mug.
Is there any that aren't wood?
Certainly, looking around, you might find one made of.
Or like one of those 2-pound fucking like Yankee Candle candles?
Give me an investigation roll.
All right.
See what we find.
While Varn's doing that, I'm putting a gag on Pranara.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, her head kind of just like lops over to one side. Her hair, her hair kind of falling over.
Yeah.
Oh, you having trouble with? Sorry, go ahead.
No, good. I think it's just a bit delayed on his end.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a nasty delay.
With a 9, you're not going to find like a big heavy candle, but you would find an empty pewter tankard.
Excellent. I'm gonna go and pick that up. I'm like,
And we're gonna need this too.
And Lamla says, Varn, are you trying to have some ale?
No, do you have any?
And he shrugs and says, the supply lines are tight, but they're not that tight.
Is this like just Rocket Raccoon? And I need that guy's leg.
Yeah. I just need it.
basically, yeah.
Oh, was it funny when he was hobbling around?
Did you see him hopping?
I'm confused.
I love that
I
movie.
wasn't listening, and somebody said my name.
Oh. We were talking about the scene from Guardians 1. It's like, and I need that guy's leg.
Oh.
Kendall slaps you on the back, Varn, and says, "There'll be time to take a drink later, my friend."
Well, can I take it with me?
The mug?
Yeah.
Doesn't belong to us.
Good. Belongs to me now.
Elswith says, yes, the previous owner of this manor, you could call it, fled the country, so I figured that they wouldn't mind if I used it.
And
Okay,
look
then
at us.
this is
We
mine.
didn't even- Look at us. We didn't get any blood on the hardwood floor.
You would actually notice, Ren, with your passive perception, you'd notice Ethelind is sort of pacing back and forth a little bit. She's sort of gripping her rapier. She seems a little nervous.
While other people are doing all this, are distracted with the prisoners, and whenever Ren could go over, try to give her like a light punch on the shoulder.
Ren?
I holding up, kid.
Well, my mother was almost just murdered, and I'd rather like to be part of the plan. Do I fit into these schemes at all, or am I to be sidelined again?
First of all, your mother was nowhere close to being murdered.
I suppose that's true.
And secondly, I've told you from the beginning, your choices are yours. I will support you in whatever manner you need.
Just imagine what would have happened if Candle hadn't have caught that foul creature. What would have happened later? And she's white-knuckling her blade a little bit.
I gave up on what-ifs a while ago when looking into the past. What if a cannonball hit this part of the boat instead of that part of the boat? What if we didn't get the jump on someone that we should have? Just keep looking forward.
Well, then, if there's going to be any type of a... If we're going to deal with Domgeet, simply would like to be a part of it.
You're welcome to come as far as I'm concerned.
Elswith looks over. She's noticed this, and she says, do we really think that's wise? It could be quite dangerous. And Ethel
Lady,
looks at her.
my wisdom is 20.
Eyes as fuck.
Yeah.
I do. I think it would be good to see the people to see the princess back and in action.
And Elswith says, this does seem, it seems rather dangerous. And Ethelyn says, Ren, Mother, I was sent away when my father's body was still warm. I walked across this entire country alone, scared, cold. I had to hide in a windmill, battered by the wrath of Umberlee. And then, you're embarrassing yourself, daughter, Elswith would say. And she'd say, and then when I found solace finally with the widow Loomis, I had to sit in her hayloft and watch her be burned alive by her own neighbors. I'm not going to watch my mother be killed as well by all this enemies to the left and to the right. She looks at her for a moment, and she looks at you, Ren, and she says, Elswith says, very well. This is your wish. I won't stand in the way.
Your Grace, a leader who takes a hands-on approach will earn more respect with the people.
And she'll be at Safeguard's side the entire time.
Yes. Your spear will not allow anyone to harm her, and if they do, Safeguard will hit twice as hard.
Elswith nods, and she looks at Adney, and she says, Ethelind, you've more of your father in you than of me, and I think perhaps you're better for it. I can't do much with a blade. My weapon has always been information, alliances. But for you, if this is your path, I think it's perhaps for the best. I'll teach you what I can if you have an open mind, but certainly it seems as though you've learned quite a bit in your time away from Hammond. Very proud of you. And Adney she was sort of white-knuckling the blade, and she seemed kind of angry, and at this she softens a bit, and she says, I won't let you down, Mother. Nod.
I say a brief phrase in Old Vanadori, and then translate it, and say, a leader who is as skilled with a blade as they are, their tongue will never know defeat.
Elswith smiles. Says, I've never been one to shy away from Vanadori wisdom. I think the world is poorer with a lack of empire, but we will do our best. Yes.
Speaking of Vanadori wisdom, I kind of lift Pranar up a little bit. We have a prisoner that needs storage.
Did I hear the word
Prisoners.
empire?
What's that like?
Did I hear the word empire? I'm like having trouble following. I don't know why.
You would know, Leg. Well, Safeguard would certainly know that Elswith did not hate the Empire. She didn't hate the Emperor. In fact, they were a loyal sort of client state.
Old chums.
I just didn't know what they were talking about.
Yeah, Octavian offered some Vanadori
Having
wisdom.
so much trouble paying attention.
It's all right.
Well, you are sick AF.
That's true.
And yes, Elswith would look to Lamless, who would say, I've got a place we can put him. Don't worry. Elise? And Elise looks and says, yes, I can help. So
The Queen will need at least one loyal guard.
Valdin behind her.
You're really shitting on Valdin today.
Yeah,
No,
Valdin behind her. Yeah, he's going to step forward. He's going to take his blade, lay it on the ground, and kneel. And he's going to say, Your Grace, I've been in your service only 6 months, but I would give my life for you. If you doubt me, I will accept it. But I've pledged my sword to you, and that is all I can say. And he bows his head. She sort of looks at him, and facing him, she sort of just looks over her shoulder towards you, Octavian, to see if you have any reaction.
Barnes
Kinda look to
looking
her.
back and forth and slowly starts golf clapping.
Kind of look for a second, kind of breathe in through the nose. It takes a strong mind and a disciplined heart to show restraint when there is a threat. That is the sort of vigilance that you need. Somebody who knows when to act.
She
and
said
when to stay.
She holds up a finger. She says, would you mind choosing a different word besides vigilance?
Watchfulness.
Thank you, yes. Ren, as this is happening, Adney whispers to you and says, "Ugh, why did she give Octavian another chance to make a speech?"
I'm keeping them short.
I thought Ren would like that.
Or we're like, she just doesn't know him yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's also that.
She walks up and she places her hand under his chin and says, "Veldin, if it was your plan to harm me or my family, you've had many opportunities. I trust you with my life, and if it was my destiny to fall, I believe it would have been done. So please, rise and take your post at my side." And he stands up and he's like, scuffs his arm a little bit. He takes his blade. He stands at her side. He says, "Yes, my queen." So she says, "Captain Renaud, Lamlas, you will take the prisoners to the safe location. And the rest of you, I believe, have what are the next steps for the plot against, for Domgate?"
We raid his house.
It's not really a plot either.
It's a plan.
Danric would, for the first time, he's going to stand up. And he steps forward. And he says, "My friends."
Yes, Patrick?
"The winds say much. And the winds say that the librarian..." And he kind of looks to Candle, and Candle shakes his head. And he says, "The bookkeeper?" And he looks to Sibo. Sibo shakes his head. He says, "The archivist will not expect us to come to him now. The winds also whisper the name Bafflestone. I believe Barney is watching us yet." And you'd see Sibo he sort of tightens his neck a little bit. He sticks his jaw out a little bit, you know. And he's in his eyes get a little red. And he says, "As I face the shore, the wind is in my face. But as I turn to face the hold, I feel it press against our backs. There is much to learn if one only listens to the wind." And he goes back and he sits down.
Ren will leave over to Adney and whisper, "You get used to it."
And she's just sort of looking, and she's just like, "What the fuck was that?"
That's someone who makes a good speech.
Yes.
Barnes standing there scratching his head, going and just giving him kind of one of those open-mouthed, "What the fuck did you just say?" looks. Is that even in common?
Does anyone else have any business in this room before we move forward and likely adjourn shortly for the week?
No. Varn is tossing the cup up to himself and just kind of getting used to the weight.
Oh, I mean, immediate business is Domgate. After that, what are we doing about Haverhill and the hold?
First, we must ensure that the people here can be fed. We must ensure that the Vanador are on our side, and any tensions between them and the Queen's soldiers are lifted. Then I think we can go forward with the two-pronged assault and infiltration. But that will require us to ensure that we have every asset at our disposal taken care of.
Hey, Octavian.
Yeah.
Would you just do a quick elevator pitch of the two-pronged assault, just in case anyone wanted to write it down?
Okay. I'm remembering correctly. It's goblins go attack the siege equipment and burn it all to the ground. That will cause a distraction, and will allow the main forces to assault and take Haverhill, while the party, and probably with some assistance from the leftover monks and maybe some scouts, if we can muster them, to go around, perhaps through the wood, maybe with Danric's guidance, because he knows the woods, to go to the hold, and basically, while the main army is being funneled out to go defend Haverhill, we can sneak in and kill the abbot and maybe the archivist if he's there. Get into the palace.
Excellent. If anyone needed to write that down, they just did.
Earlier you said Versailles and Barn would like cover the escapees. Goblins would be distraction. Saloon and Brand would be like entering. Or Octavian and Safeguard doing?
We're going in through the front door. We're delivering the arrest warrant.
Mm.
We're putting
Delivering
we're putting the
warrant.
fear of God in them, and then everybody else, and then Ren and you are the infiltration team to go.
We're the
to
Rainbow
pop.
Six.
Yeah, you're Rainbow Six, and Varn and Versailles will be
the cheeky snipers on your 6.
Yeah, they'll be the eyes in the sky.
Ready to hamstring someone trying to escape.
Oh yeah.
Okay. I wrote it down. I just wanted to make sure I got everything.
It's a flawless plan. I see no problems with it at all.
We're gonna go and just Achilles everybody. It's fine.
Yeah, exactly.
So Varn and Versailles, sneaky snipers. Ren and Saloon, sneaky climby window. Octavian, safeguard. Not so sneaky arrest warrant.
We're the fuzz.
Yeah, we'll see what Cake wants to do.
Yeah.
And
Cake could be eyes in the sky. They could turn into a bird.
Oh my god, it's so good.
Enemy C-130 above.
Yeah. Like AWACS, right?
Stealth is +5. That's great.
Oh yeah.
I mean, we're kind of going in loud.
Loud and proud.
Let's go. So.
In the case I did need to use my stealth, it's +5.
Yeah. We got all the avenues covered. They either run into the beef tanks, they run into Rainbow Six, or they get sniped. Either way, it's pretty bad.
Adney would ask, if you need her to do anything specific.
Well, we said that she would be by Safeguard, so as long as she can, low profile, and only expose who she is at the right moment, then I think we'll be okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean that's if she wants to be involved, the safest place is right between Octavian and Safeguard.
Oh yeah. Anybody touches her, there's divine smites going their way.
Yeah.
Actually,
they're getting sandwiched by the tanks.
Yeah, I mean, you could have talked her into staying behind, but you supported her going in, so she wants to
lead from the front. That's what we've been telling.
That's Ren's whole thing is you make your own choices and you live with what happens.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And like, are you okay with us running Safeguard for this next week when you're not here?
That's up to you guys. I didn't know if you guys were playing or not.
I want to only because I'm going to be in Paris the following week.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
and
I know.
Yeah, but we don't want. But you won't miss you might miss this one thing, but you won't miss the next thing.
I kind of don't want to miss this. If we're not gonna do this tonight.
Yeah, I don't think we have the time.
I mean, yeah, I know it's late, so.
Because I'm basically. Let me just look at the calendar real quick. Yeah, so 5th. I know Leg is out. So like the 12th is really can't happen. The 9th. I'm sorry, the 11th, the 18th. I fly. I'm back home the 17th. So I should be fine the 18th. So yeah, I'm sure I'll be fine the 18th.
Yeah, it's just a long time to not do D&D.
Yeah, I'd be concerned about 2, possibly 3 weeks off. But I mean, yeah, we don't want you to miss the time. Like, we can see how the week pans out. But
yeah, we are getting down to the nitty gritty of it.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I don't want to mess up.
Yeah.
Plus, it's gonna be fucking cool.
What do you got? Work? I'm not trying to question you. I just.
anniversary.
Oh shit! Okay, yeah.
Oh, I didn't even hear your question.
No, I wasn't questioning you at all. I was just trying to remember what it was. That's all.
Well, I mean, yeah, we'll be taking quite the break for this, but there's my one thing on the 11th when you're in Paris.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we could do that. Just take like next week off, and then Cobra does something real quick. That way, we at least get our D&D fix.
Yeah, I don't know how long it'll be or what it's going to be or if it'll be balanced. You might just steamroll the whole thing. It's more of just a neat little idea I came up with.
Still a chance
shit,
to roll dice, though.
Yeah, shit, I have to make that artificer. Oh boy.
Wait, was that what was it on the 11th?
I'm
next?
Yeah, I'm away, and like I I'm just gonna be in like a hotel. Like I was thinking I could run it, but I'm gonna be like 6 hours ahead, so it's like up. I don't think it's gonna work out.
I meant for Cobra.
Oh,
What
oh
were you
yeah,
playing?
sorry.
Was that
yeah,
the
so
one shot?
Well, yeah, so it's kind of a prelude idea that I was initially just going to run it for a leg. It was just like a one-on-one.
Oh, okay.
Because it involves her character in Reclamation.
Oh, gotcha.
But then I'm like, maybe we can have like one or two other people in there.
Yeah, that makes sense.
We got Justin's going to play an artificer just because it makes sense storyline wise that there would be an artificer there.
Alrighty.
I'm gonna have to go make that character.
I thought you were about to say I'm gonna have to go make carrot cake. I don't know why.
Ooh, carrot cake sounds good.
God, I hate carrot cake. No.
Yeah,
never.
I like carrot cake.
Yeah, and I would say just give yourself like you can balance yourself. Give yourself a couple nifty magic items. Well, you're an artificer, you can fucking make your own. So
Yeah, that is also true. I'm probably gonna do artillerist. That's the plan.
You should be a rat with a gun.
I don't know what I'm gonna do. Let me look at the races. I want to try like one of the new ones, or at least like one of the reprinted ones from Monsters of the Multiverse.
Varn and Versailles are all going to be eyes in the sky.
I thought Saloon was going in
I think,
with.
Yes, Saloon's gonna go in with Ren.
she's
You're light in
B Varn and Versailles.
Yeah.
Yeah,
B Varn.
Yeah, B with the B.
Yeah.
Not me.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, I'm rewriting it because it's kind of not pretty how I wrote it, so I'm rewriting it now.
B turns into a giant eagle or something like that. We can become an A10 warthog.
Did we land somewhere for next week? Because I'll go with the group's overall kind of vote or whatever.
I think we're passing.
Okay.
So to keep plugging it.
Okay. Yeah. I appreciate everybody's keeping their excitement high so we don't lose momentum.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, we're going to be hyped for this.
And that gives me extra time to make it awesome. Hopefully so.
And I know I don't know about Justin, but Octavian's been wanting this for a long time.
I've been wanting to have a conversation with the cheese right for a while.
I got to go back to the episode and remember what he sounds like.
Well, let me ask you this real quick. Are there any races that are off the table for me to play as?
God, let me look at the race list that is now like 200 fucking races.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, if they bundled Genasi all into the one with like the sub races, they get rid of like 3 extra things.
I mean, they really should go back and do that. They left the fucking elves alone for the most part, but there's still like 3 or 4 elven races that are all out on their own.
Yeah.
So why not just
the
bundle them all together?
Yeah. The problem is they have to separate them by content, so they can't lump, like coding wise, they can't lump it all together on the same thing, without like literally just having blank spots on their website for people who don't
I'm
own
sure that there's a way to do it. They're just possibly being lazy.
I mean, either that or they just are like. Someone tells me there's a lot of spaghetti code in D&D Beyond, considering it's powered by fandom. Or at least
Yeah.
it was originally. Now Wizards actually owns it.
So I say no Leonin or Satyr, no Owlin, no Aarakocra. Well, you don't want to be an Aarakocra race, trust me.
Yeah.
No Centaur.
I don't know.
Okay.
I've been thinking about a penguin Aarakocra.
Good.
Just be a Kenku at that point. They're already flightless.
No, those are crows.
I would think not the fairy.
I wasn't really feeling the fairy anyways.
I mean, probably not an Eldrin. Probably not Githyanki Githzerai.
Okay.
Not a fucking Harangon, goddamn. Or a Minotaur. Like,
I'm trying to think what would be a good fit for an artificer, especially if they're
Yeah.
from.
Gnome.
Would you let like a
That seems to
centaur?
be the classic.
no Centaur.
What about a centaur who falls in love with a Harangon? Muting.
Wasn't it a Minotaur?
Was it a Minotaur milkmaid? Yeah, you're right.
Minotaur.
Are you mad you knew that?
Remember your own lore, bro.
I know. That's great.
You know, I've never played a dwarf. Maybe I can do a dwarf.
Oh.
Yeah. No undead lineage.
Yeah, no, I'm not gonna do it.
No Warforged. No, nothing from Spelljammer.
Okay. Yeah, no, the Spelljammer stuff is blatantly broken.
Yeah, like no one ever gets to play Spelljammer.
I
No,
might actually be doing Spelljammer at some point. Depending on how things go with my Sunday game, there might come a point where they might get teleported into the astral plane, and I might just have them do Spelljammer for a while.
Oh boy.
Yeah, well, they're pretty overpowered, so I think throwing them there will be a good balancing act for them.
I want to thank.
I'm really tempted to play a Plasmoid.
The fucking Plasmoid.
I want to thank
Fucking Amoeba Man.
Cobra for talking me out of buying the Spelljammer box set.
Yeah, I'm like you don't need that.
I'm like, I need this. I'm gonna buy it, and Cobra just messaged me back.
I bought it. I
No, you
kind of like some of the stuff that's in it.
Did you buy the physical or the online?
The physical one.
See, okay, can I just say, like, I thought it would look awesome on my shelf, but I knew I'd never open it. You know what I mean? That's just me, though.
I mean,
I like the-
Ellis,
I like the
there's
extra
nothing
DM screen that you
stopping
get.
you.
Yeah.
There's
The
nothing
DMs
stopping you from just having it for display.
Yeah. Well, the DM screen is nice too because it actually has like rules on it that are related to Spelljammer. So it has like quick access for that. But I mean, it's cool. You notice that the one Spelljammer race that they're getting a lot of shit for has like basically no information on it on the website.
The Hadazee?
The Hadazee, yeah. Yeah, that's kind of a big oof. Oh wait, you guys haven't? Yes, Hadazee, the original artwork for them, they're like ape people.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're created by mad wizards as a subservient slave race, and have since earned their freedom. I'm like,
Oh,
that
boy.
sounds a little sus.
So, Cobra,
Yes.
I'm looking through my spells right now, and I have a lot that would work well with Saloon and Rin.
Oh, for the mission?
Yeah.
Nice.
Well, that's
Hold
like
person, greater invisibility, Inson's racking chain.
Hold
I
person.
use that, by the way.
You have my custom spell.
Yeah. I used it at the arena.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Oh yeah.
A mage armor.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking is was bringing Saloon in because the versatility of a spellcaster would help run a lot.
Yeah. I have one job, Red's like, I have one job on this ship, and god damn it, I'm gonna do it.
Protection from evil and good.
Yeah, so
Magic pattern.
my thinking is like when Octavian and Safeguard and Adney start making a fuss at the door, that Varn pretty much shoots an arrow through the window Ren's and Cylinder gonna go through just to like weaken the glass. And so that way they can bust in a lot easier.
Varn went and picked up his gift for the cheese right, because it's rude to go to somebody's house without bringing a gift.
Hmm.
Is it the tankard?
Yeah, he's gonna throw it through the window.
Oh, okay.
He's got catapult, so he's just gonna fucking fling it through the goddamn window.
Nice.
That's awesome.
What sucks though is I get 2 spells.
Warlocks. Yeah.
Make them count.
I love catapult. It's so as a spell.
It is a great fucking
And
spell.
it's so versatile. You can use it to like cheat at archery contests.
I picked it up for Varn simply because, like, in the event that he does something stupid and he like drops his crossbow or something, you could always just pick up a fucking rock, or if it's too loud or something like that, you know, you can pick up a fucking rock and flick it at somebody and hit them with it. You know.
Speaking of Canuck, I was wondering if Octavian was going to try and have a conversation with him.
I figured best to let the sleeping dogs lie.
Yeah. Well, also if Ren died in the thing. Hey, Canuck, we could use some help.
Hey, buddy.
How's it
Long
going?
time.
Oh wait, I already.
It was cool to see his new stage show.
I also
Yeah.
think you guys were too concerned with like leaving before speaking, because it was like right after that. I'm pretty sure
Hmm.
this guy like went purple and stuff.
Yeah. Which, I mean, I was not, like, as a player, and Red was not concerned about that whatsoever, because the Mythil's not new.
That's correct.
Like, it's a very established, long, ancient, powerful magic thing. So, like, it wasn't...
My favorite part, by the way, and I didn't know how you guys were gonna react when Sapiarch Kaladwin shows up. All you guys in the booth were like, "We're gonna get the," and I was just like, "I'm like, oh, good, they're not gonna talk."
We gotta go. We gotta go.
I didn't really want to have a big conversation, but if you wanted to, she's right there. But I'm like, oh, good.
I didn't even get those recipes for B.
Oh, from who?
Well, there was that one ginger lady.
Oh, you're right.
And I asked
Market.
her, yeah.
You know who's got some recipes though? Alis. So.
Cobra, this is level 15, right?
Yeah.
Wow.
Put them
Oh,
to
boy.
the side.
Yeah, I'm glad artificers are only half-casters.
Yeah.
As I said, I don't know what this is going to be. I haven't really prepped much for it. I have the concept of what it's going to be, but it's more... I don't know. I hope it's going to be cool, but it's more like a story beat.
Oh, fuck, I have a lot of shit to pick for infusions, god damn it.
Hmm.
Let's take a couple ASIs.
Are we done for the night then?
I
Yep.
think so.
Yep.
Game-wise, yeah.
Doing
Yeah, thank you,
something.
everybody.
Cool. So I can go back to playing Elden Ring.
Yes.
What are you trying to build right now?
I'm playing like a sorcerer spellblade twink build.
Oh, so you started as like the like the dude with like the white and black robes or whatever.
You want that?
Yeah, the glintstone staff.
I don't know what class I started, but yeah, that one.
I'm going full Unga Bunga. I found the Guts greatsword and I'm loving it. Actually, it's not even a greatsword; it's a colossal sword. It fucks everything. It's so good.
I'm gonna play it like a low level, and I'm gonna be an asshole and do invasion. It's the only reason I'm playing this game.
Well,
I don't give a shit about the bosses or anything. I've beaten enough Dark Souls games. I don't care about the story.
yeah, story's actually pretty good.
Okay.
I mean, the characters are fucking
Twink.
wild. The characters are wild. Like there's the talking jar. There's Blythe, the half wolf that everybody thirsts after. There's like some fucking like rat
I'm
dude
the
who alters your garments.
the giant pot guy
Alexander, the Iron Fist.
that I had to fucking smack out of a hole.
Yeah, you gotta boop him on the butt.
Do I find him more? Do I have to boop on the butt more?
There is a quest line involving him and one of the guys in the round table hold guy who's like the black and silver armor.
I don't know what the round table hold is. I haven't.
It's
looked
like the safe. It's like the safe area. It's like the hunter's dream.
Okay.
Yeah, it's where you'll find like vendors, the armor smith, the
When
fucking
do I get
the
there?
death. When